thank you to the patrons for your continued support, man. I got a special guest here, man, Coach Burns, Coach Deshaun Burns, man. Crazy resume, man. I guess I'll let you introduce yourself. I got a couple questions I gotta ask you, I guess, like, so they know where you're coming from, I guess. But because I don't want to put words in your mouth, man. So, where did you he's a football coach that I've known for some years now, and I guess I'll let you do the talking, man. As far as like where you started, where did football start for you, man? And I guess how'd you get to this point? I know that's a big question, but I mean I know you coached in the NFL, you played at USC, you coached at the highest levels in college. You know what I mean? I guess I don't know the details like you do, man. I know you've been coaching longer than I've been alive. You know what I mean? So
well, I'm Coach Deshaun Burns, and born and raised in Riverside, California, from the IE. I went to Rubidoux High School, located in Riverside, California now. I guess subsidiary of Hoopa Valley area. Played my football at Rubidoux High School. Played football, baseball, basketball, track, and then I tried to wrestle for a little bit. Tried to get a letter in the fifth sport, and it didn't. The school that was recruiting me said if I wrestled, then they would pull the scholarship. So I chose not to wrestle anymore. Grew up, both my parents. Dad was a prison guard. Started out as a prison guard. Well, actually, prior to that, he was in the Air Force. My mom is from Hazelhurst, Mississippi. My mother's from Utica, Edwards County, Mississippi. And they met age of 18. My dad went off to Vietnam, fought in the war, came home, proposed to my mom, got married to my mom, and they moved out to California. And he was stationed at Marsh Air Force Base. Prior to that, I think he was in North Dakota, the Air Force Base in North Dakota or South Dakota, something like that. This is prior to me. Started out as a trash man, and then got into corrections. And then became a parole officer, prison guard, worked at Soledad State Prison. Actually was on the yard with Sirhan and kind of oversaw.
that's the guy that killed RFK.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Sirhan was incarcerated when he was at Soledad, and kind of he lived that. He kind of did that deal, and he got out of that and got into probation, and became a probation officer, parole officer, and retired as a parole officer, and then started coach sports. Was my first coach. I think at the age of 7, I played for Hoopa Steelers, or the Buccaneers. Hoopa Buccaneers, and kind of merged to the Steelers. He coached from there, and then coached me in high school. Was never my position coach, but coached on the staffs in which I played on. In the younger youth years, he was the head coach of the team, and my love for the sport just grew with playing and him being around, and then. I went off and played junior tackle and played high school ball, and was blessed to receive a scholarship to USC, and played football at USC, and then broke my neck in layman's terms. But I had a herniated disc at the 2-3 level and C6, C7, and transferred and played a little baseball at SC, and then went up to Merced with the Astros organization, was there for a cup of coffee, and didn't understand the rules of Major League or minor league baseball, and got beside myself, fired my agent, and thought I should have been playing in Minute Maid Park. Didn't understand there's 150 games in the summer, and you got to play in Alaska or Mexico. I haven't played football. You had played at the time NFL, Canada, the World League, or the Arena League. There was only, those 4 leagues going at the time, and with my neck injury, I couldn't play in those, and I wasn't going to play in the Arena League with the bad neck. So it's kind of morphed into playing. I came home and then got into coaching, and my first job was at Beverly Hills High School. So if you're familiar with the Netflix show All American, which I know you don't watch TV, but the Netflix show All American, I was coaching during that time at Beverly Hills. Shout out to Carter Pacinger, gave me my first job. So we coached there. I was there for a year, and then went over to Bishop Armand High School and coached there for 6 years. In the meantime, in between time, I was doing some acting and some bodyguard work. So, young guy trying to hustle and get after it. So remember doing some bodyguard work for DMX and Eve at the Source Awards.
For real? That's
Yeah,
crazy. Yes,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
That's treacherous. The Source Awards gets treacherous.
Oh, it was crazy treacherous. So this is when the Locks had broke away from Bad Boy, and they were coming over to Rough Riders, and Jodeci was going, and
That's crazy.
Eve was just coming out. What y'all? What,
Yeah.
First lady of Rough Riders, so she was blowing up, and Dragon and Juvenile and all them. So all of them. Ja Rule was on the tour. So I did that and did stuff for Bonaducci and Shaq, and had a little run there and Shabba Ranks, and then did commercials. A good friend of mine, Baldwin Sykes. You ever seen Boys in the Hood?
Oh, yeah.
So Monster and Boys in the Hood, Ice Cube's right hand guy, give me that get so I can.
Yeah.
So that's good for him. So we went to school together, went to SC together, and so B Sykes put me on to the acting. As an athlete, he's like, hey, athletes, they get a lot of roles because there's a lot of sports stuff, and the same guys are doing the same scenes. And if you paid attention,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man. So I began to look at him like, you're right, it's the same dude in every commercial. John Singleton went to school with us, and I knew John in school, but I didn't collab with him.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he was an SC grad. Regina King, SC grad, had class with her. And, so B Sykes put me on.
That's the crazy thing about you playing ball at SC.
Mm-hmm.
You really like plugged in. It's like a pro team, but like also like a networking university.
It was crazy.
Yeah,
it was really crazy. MC, young MC, went to SC. I let him know. They used to do a rapper back then. He went to SC. Singleton used to walk around. He was handing out flyers for parties on campus, and guys would go sometimes, not go. And B Sykes was there, and so I ended up collab. We worked at a group home. I worked at 1114 group home at night, so I could act and bodyguard, and I coached. I was coaching in Almont, so I was kind of doing a multi-job thing.
Yeah.
And B Sykes told me about this acting thing, and I connected with Players Talent Agency. Shout out Joe Kokowitz up in Hollywood, and my first gig was Space Jam. So
you was in Space Jam?
I was in Space Jam.
Yeah.
I was a second baseman.
I gotta go back and watch Space Jam now.
So I'm in the back. I did a lot of extra work. So I was the second baseman when Jordan. I auditioned for the catcher, and he was telling him don't swing. He was having that conversation with don't swing.
Yeah.
And I auditioned for the guy in the dugout. He said good strikeout, way to strike out. I didn't get either one of those parts. So I played second base on Huntsville Stars, and then the Mudfish. I was the third baseman on another scene. So we shot that, so that made me SAG-AFTRA. I got in a sick. We shot 6 days, so I got SAG eligible, and then they had to kill it because we had a patch that was not approved by the major league. So the guy who used to do all the Air Jordan commercials, Joe Pica, the director, he was doing Space Jam, and so we used a patch that the major league didn't approve, so we had to go back and redo the scenes without the patch. So I got like 12 days. I got in the SAG, and then I ran with that for a long time. Did episodes of Arliss, but Age was an HBO show, and then I was in a few movies, Crazy Beautiful, Kirsten Dunst in the football scene, and some other stuff. So
That's crazy.
yeah. So I was doing that simultaneously with coaching.
Yeah, now that's the beauty of LA, and being from the LA area, man, playing at USC, I know you really getting plugged into.
Well, I was blessed to play with some really good players. The Junior Sales, rest in peace, Junebug, and Rodney Pete and Carrier.
Say I was on your team?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
The Bug was on the team.
That's crazy, because, all right, so y'all won, I was reading your wiki, you got a Wikipedia.
Okay, no.
You got a Wikipedia page.
That's supposed to be good.
Well, no, you seen it? You ever seen it?
No.
Oh, it's a Wikipedia page about you. You never seen it? That's crazy.
No.
Yeah.
I read no. These kids talking about like Coach Wikipedia, man. I don't.
Oh yeah, no, you can Google you, man. You got a whole profile, man. It just talks about like how you was on the USC team and like you got hurt, and then you still became part of the staff.
Yeah, I began to coach.
Yeah.
That's where I cut my teeth. Yeah, blessings to Coach Bobby Cope. May he rest in peace. He was a DB coach at the time, and then Zampese, Kenny, Coach Zapp was huge. Him and Marvin Cobb were huge in my development because it was a tough time in my life. You know, I was playing, you're an athlete, you're playing at a premier school. I was supposed to start. I had the injury 2 weeks before the first game. We played Syracuse initially in Russia. It was the Glasgow Bowl, the Glasgow Bowl, I believe. We were supposed to play Syracuse in Russia, and then it went to Meadowlands.
Oh,
So we played them in Jersey, in the Meadowlands. But I got hurt 2 weeks before the first game, so I transitioned into like a player coach, and that was tough because there's no manual, there's no manuscript on how to make that transition. So I had to grow up.
Yeah.
And so Coach Zapp took me under his wing, and Coach Cope and Coach Smith, Marvin Cobb, and taught me. I began to dive into coaching, like cutting film and doing all the grunt work, and just seeing how things work. And I really found a niche for that, and I decided I wanted to coach. Yeah.
You loved the game that much. To where
I loved it.
You didn't want to get away from it.
And more so, probably honestly, Taylor, the process, like the truth, like the players need to know the truth. Like you got to know the truth, about the business. You know, I'm an 18, 19-year-old kid. Got hurt, and my world got turned upside down, and there was no counseling for that. There was no, how do you acclimate? How do you go from being a kid that didn't need to register for classes? Because, you get your classes, you go to the counselor, and then you get that done, you get priority pick. So now you got to stand in line.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You got to
stand in line and go get that biology class. You got to get there at 6 o'clock in the morning and make sure the professor, make sure there's enough spots and all those things that go with it. We get on medical scholarship, and I do it all again. I go and I break my neck. I mean, I do it all again. I'm not talking bad about it, but there's no acclimation process. There's no teaching. There's no guidance there's no life skill for it. So when I decide I want to coach, like I'm gonna tell the truth. Like we're gonna coach and get these guys right, but they need to. Guys got to know what they're getting into. So
you wanted to be like a resource for players at large. Like
yeah, most definitely. And so I coached at Almont, Beverly Hills, Then I went to Almont and stayed there for 6 years. Won a championship. We had a lot of good players come out of there, and guys go on and play in the NFL and stuff. And then I left Almont. Had a chance to coach at USC under Coach Hackett 2 years back to back, and didn't move on it. I had a death in the family, lost my grandmother, so I was contemplating. I was married at the time and had 2 kids, and was contemplating moving to Mississippi.
Because the family's all there.
And my grandfather was still alive, and my parents, my mother was from a family of 9, my dad was from a family of 11.
Yeah, it's a different
so
term.
Everybody would go back and kind of help on the farm. They had a farm 300 acres, my grandfather did. So I looked into coaching at JUCO, like Hinds County, junior college, and then helping my grandfather on the farm. We looked into that, and then an opportunity came open at University of Mexico in the Rocky Long, so I went and did a camp there and thought about it, and then opportunity came along at University of Florida. And so Ricky Hundley, who's now at Arizona, Slick Rick was a GA when I was playing. He had just finished playing with the Raiders, and he played under Larry Smith at Arizona, and was coming back in G, and he just remembered us. We stayed in contact, and he took a job at University of Florida. So he reached out to me, and we talked, and then I went down to the University of Florida and interviewed, talked to Coach Spurrier, and then went through it and did a camp down there, and then he put an offer out there to me, and then I ended up packing up the house, packing up the family, and we drove cross country, University of Florida. I was there for 1 season. It was 9/11. It was the year of 9/11. So that was 2001. The year of 9/11. Coached that year at the University of Florida. We had 2 shots at national championship. We lost to Auburn with Jason Campbell, and then we lost to Tennessee. And then Coach Spurrier resigned and took a job with the Redskins, and so I ended up going to the Redskins, and I was there for 2 years, and then he resigned, and then I went to Texas Southern. Prior to that, I went to the 49ers under Coach Erickson. I was there in minority internship program, and had a chance to kind of stay, but I had committed to a job at Texas Southern University under Steve Wilson in Houston in the 3rd Ward in the H, and I was there for 4 years. That was 04 to 08, and then I became interim head coach there, and then we played UTEP in '05. And I knew Coach Price because he had recruited me out of high school. So we played, I was a D coordinator, and we just kind of like what we did on defense. So I had an opportunity to interview for the D-line job at UTEP. After our run at Texas Southern was done, our head coach was let go, and I was the interim coach, and they brought in another guy in, and it just wasn't going to work. So I took a job at UTEP with Coach Price for 2 years, and then he brought in a new coordinator. Andre Patterson came in, and he was a D-line guy, and it just wasn't going to work. That's the nature of the business.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. People bring their guys in.
Yeah, and it was no hard feelings. Coach was great. He was great. He
Yeah.
made calls for me, and then I took a job. I did the Texas versus Nation game. So it's like the best players in Texas was kids from all over, and so at the time, Howard Schnellenberger was the head coach, who was at Louisville, started Louisville program, and in the U back in the day when the U was rocking.
Yeah.
So I coached for him in that game, and I ended up taking the job at the Sacramento Mountain Lions in the United Football League. And Danny Green was the head coach then.
Yeah, because I connected with you when you were at UTEP.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was recruiting you. I was trying to get you to come. No, take Southern.
No. You were at UTEP. You were the because I remember I couldn't get through to anybody else. I tried to get my film over, and the only one that film reached.
Right.
And nobody else responded.
Right.
The only one that hit me back.
I started recruiting you. I was trying to get you to come through. Yeah. And then
who? Because what was Carson Palmer's?
His little brother Jordan.
That was the
Jordan and Trevor. It was Brandon. It was Jordan Palmer, that guy Brandon Dew, and Trevor Vitito. T. Vitz was a quarterback there, and breaking Jordan's records. And Brandon was heck. Well, he ended up being a D lineman and was killing it. So I was there for 2 years, and then left.
It's crazy that you though were a DB and you learned enough to be able to coach the D line.
Yes,
you know, it's because that's it's every position is really technical, but to go to D line from DB,
yes,
is like you have to be. You have to get into coaching like pretty soon, like early in your life, to even be able to know that much. Because I feel like if you stuck me out there on D line, I don't know.
You got to craft, right?
Yeah.
You got to master your craft, and so you got to sacrifice some things. You don't compromise anything. You got to sacrifice stuff, and so to learn your craft, you got to get around guys that are crafting. So.
Yeah.
But I had coordinated at Almont, so I coached everything but the D line at Bishop Vermont High School. And so what I noticed and was that D linemen really didn't use their hands. Like they didn't use their hands in a lot of combatives. There's a lot of hand combatives, but it wasn't precise. There was no precision.
Yeah.
So I took DB play, wide receiver play.
Breaking hands down.
Yeah, breaking hand down, attacking edges, getting the halves, beating quarters, where your eyes go, the pad level, your leverage, all of those things that as a DB are important, and even as a receiver, how you got to defend. Receivers, is pass rush. You got to get off the line, you got to get off the press, and use your hands. So I revert back to my collegiate days in playing, and I played with a guy by the name of Chris Hale. So he was in the golf tournament. So Chris Hale played with us at SC. It was like my big brother when I came in. And then he went to the Bills and played on the Bills teams when all the champions get Super Bowls. So but Andre Reed was a receiver.
Oh yeah, I remember Reed.
So they would come out in the summer and work out. And so I would just watch Chris press and play Dre. Dre's 6 foot some odd plus. Chris was 5'11", 5'9" at best. Crazy vert, could dunk, bench 330, 340, ridiculous 340. Could go.
That's nuts.
Guarded McCaffrey's dad. Stanford, and McCaffrey's at 6'5" plus whatever. And Chris is, guarding him and strapping him, at 5'9", wrong with him. But I just watched Chris's technique and where his hands went and how Dre was beating him, and I'm like, wow, and I just, okay, how does that work?
Seeing it at a high level,
seeing
things at a high level just shows you, I guess, like what works and what don't.
Well, just crafting, like, how do you apply it, right? How do you apply these skills and what's missing? So I found a niche. I believe that I found a niche and just ran with it and just really just honed in on the details of the position and how important hand placement is, and then where your eyes got to go and where you got to be on the person, and just really just locked into that. So I went to Florida. We had a star-studded defense and offense, and there was guys that got drafted within 3 years of being drafted. They played in Super Bowl. So Lito Shepherd and Keywan Ratliff and Alex Brown and Rex Grossman and Todd. I mean, we're loaded, you know.
Rex Grossman won the Heisman, right?
He was runner-up.
He
was up to fourth.
Yeah,
Gross,
exactly.
you know, and he went to the Bears and played and was in the Super Bowl. And
Yeah.
Alex was on the same team. So we're loaded, you know.
Yeah.
Jamar Gaffney, Taylor J. We had guys, but they weren't really good with their hands. You know, some basic stuff, and I just reverted back to watching Chris and Dre. And I remember talking to Andre. I'd go out and try to press him, and he was just killing me. I'm trying to punch a certain place, and he's just slipping me, and I'm missing, and I'm getting frustrated. I'm like, man, my press game was nice in school. I'm not getting my hands on this dude.
It's like Mayweather or something.
Yeah. I'm like, how is this possible, man? And he just told me about some things with his eyes, his martial arts, and taking the body away, and just being fluid like water, and yanning and just receiving and absorbing stuff, and where his hands need to be. I'm like, oh, like a whole, just open my eyes, you know. So I open up 38 chamber, you know. Wow, you know, like brothers Wu-Tang,
That's what I was gonna say.
you know.
Yeah.
And I just took that down to Florida and just really just honed in on hands and your hands and where they gotta be and get off and really work well with Ricky, and he allowed me to do some things, and John Hope was our coordinator and he allowed me to do some things, and so I just ran with that and just really dove into that, and that's how I kind of cut my teeth and I was blessed to be at the Skins, and we had a really good line, you know, Bruce Smith and Big Daddy Dan Wilkerson and Daryl Gardner, Ronaldo Wynn, and
Bruce Smith has shoes, right? Didn't they have Bruce Smith the shoes?
Like Reebok spots we made back in the day, you know.
But Bruce Smith is the Hall of Famer.
Yeah. So I was blessed to you know, be in the room with him and pick his brain, and he was doing it for 20 years with two different teams. So all the Buffalo Bills, all those championships, and then the Skins on the back end. And I would just pick his brain, like, Bruce, how do you know what? So, you know, what am I going to really tell him? You know, he's 20 years doing this thing. And what's crazy is when they played in the Super Bowl versus Dallas, they practiced at USC, and I was in school. So I remember watching Bruce practice, and I was watching Chris and Dre. But Bruce was going against, you know, Thurman Thomas was at the back, and Jim Kelly was a quarterback, and, you know. So Bruce is down here practicing. I'm watching DB receivers.
Yeah.
So we reconnected. I was like, man, I remember watching you practice. So I'm gonna pick your brain.
Yeah.
20 years experience. Like, you were sacking Dan Marino.
Yeah. It's like a library.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're sacking Joe Montana, dude. Like these kids don't even, you know, you're going to get some of the best tackles in the game.
Yeah.
And beat them. These, you know, some of the moves you're using, it's on beta. You know?
Same on VHS.
Right. And we had VHS back in there before DVDs. So I'm looking at beta, and, you know, he's going against pups. So just picked his brain and just once again just crafted, and I had some great mentors and Marvin Lewis and George Edwards and those guys and Ricky Huntley. They just really just honed into me, and I broke out and went to Texas Southern as a D coordinator, assistant head coach, and was there for 4 years. Like I said, and then obviously UTEP and Mount Lions, and then
I contacted you because I tried to walk on at Sac State, because I remember Mountain Lions played at Sac State.
Yes.
And I tried to contact you because you know what I mean at that time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know,
Reaching, so I was up there for
my stock was not in there.
Yeah.
I couldn't get you the answer there.
Yeah. Well, I didn't have no control of them QBs. That was crazy. Mike McDaniels, the Dolphins head coach, was our running back coach.
Oh man, you had a crazy staff. Like you said, Denny Green was the head coach.
Green was our head man. Charlie Collins, well-known guy. Martin Bayless, Steve Schaefer. We had some really good coaches. Art Kehoe, we're good. And then league ran out of money.
Culpepper was your quarterback.
Dante Culpepper was a quarterback.
Yeah.
Jeff Garcia was in Omaha. McCown was in Florida. Oh my gosh, the wide receivers in Omaha because they were rolling. Napoleon. Not Napoleon Coffin, the kid that went to the Seraphims, went to Florida State. He left and went to the Vikings. He was a running back for the Florida team. He left and went to the Vikings. And then the league kind of went defunct, ran out of money. I then went to, then that's when I came home. And then I was in between, I was at the end of my contract, I started consulting and just talking about the realities of recruiting. Like when I was on the tap, so I could tell, and I wasn't spilling any beans. I was just talking about the dangers of the recruiting services and chasing the bag well before all this junk that's happening now, and just kind of like the realities of what you need to do to get recruited and whose responsibility is it, and how you set your film up. And I got involved with Football University and started traveling the country doing those camps and speaking and doing stuff like that. And I had a chance to go to the Cowboys under Rob Ryan and Marvin Lewis at the Bengals at the time. So we had talked to Butch Davis about Cincinnati versus Cincinnati. And then I had a chance to go work for Andy Reid at the Eagles. When Deuce Staley was running back, so I worked with special teams guy, and which Bobby April was my college coach, my college DB coach before Coach Cope.
These is crazy names, man.
Yeah, it's I'm name dropping, and please, I'm not trying to name drop.
It's just your life.
These are the people that really poured into me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just they made impressions, and they always looked out. And so I can call them, the ones that are still with us on Earth. I can call them, and they'll pick up the phone, and we can talk. So I was there, and then after I left there, I was with the Eagles. I came on, and that's when I came back to United. I took the job here at Linfield Christian High School as the assistant head coach, D-line, D coordinator, head of D-line, and I was director of athletic development, so I was the dad. The dad, and then we're in charge of, fundraising and, helping the school raise some money. So we had some golf tournaments, some pro-am, celebrity pro-am golf tournaments, and just kind of getting the name splashed in the community. So I've been here since 2011. In the process, I've been blessed to do some All-Star games. I did the Upper Bound Pro Bowl in Little Rock, and I did the East-West Shrine with Coach Singletary, Mike Singletary, and then and they did a host of all-star games out here in the community, for the high school seniors and stuff. So that's been a walk, man.
Why do you think the UFL opened and shut like that? Why do you think it closed down? Like, was it so short-lived?
Just the financial piece. It was a great business model, and it's what's happening again now with the XFL and the UFL.
Same thing?
It's the same thing. It's just, I think it got a little too big too fast. And I don't think some pieces were in place to. The first year they all worked out of. The year before I got there, they all worked out at Casa Grande in Arizona.
Okay.
So it was like the hub, and they played, and they play in respective cities, but they all the hub. And the next year, like the USFL the second year, they branched out. So Sacramento went to Sacramento, and everybody went everywhere. And it was good business model, but I think it was just too costly for some organizations.
Yeah.
And I don't know if everything was in place. And it was I forgot the guy's name, the Girls Gone Wild guy. That's where the games were being showed on that. Was it Spike TV or something like that?
I think it might have been. Yeah, I think so. It might have been Spike,
yeah. So he had major ownership in it, so the games showed it. So it just kind of got too big, too fast. And so we played, and we were looking at the championships. We were trying to find out if it was going to be us and Foster's team in Vegas. It was kind of a toss-up. And then coach made some changes, and it kind of ran defunct, and they played another 4 games the following year, and then dissipated. Because the funds ran out.
Damn.
Yeah. But a good venue. I mean, great opportunity for guys. Zendejo, we had our safety was, I forgot his first name, was Zendejo, who ended up going back and playing for the Vikings for another 4 or 5 years after.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because it was guys on the field.
Oh, yeah.
It was some ballers on the field.
Moreno, we had Dante, we had Corey, Ross, John David Washington, Denzel's kid, was running back.
He played for the Rams.
Yeah. So we had guys. I mean, everybody had dudes. Everybody had dudes. It was a good time, good league, good football, competitive football. Guys want to make it.
Yeah.
Guys played hard. It was good.
Yeah, I guess it's always an opportunity to network, to maybe end up coaching, because you can coach for way longer than you can play.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that was the discussion that we'd have with the guys. You're going to be out of the cleats longer than you're in the cleats.
Yeah.
So just make sure you're doing right.
So you can have those relationships later.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know. I guess that's the part that stings the most. It's it's not that I think that people don't want to coach. It just feels like it's automatic, death of the identity of playing.
Yeah, the transition. You got to be at peace with things and just not live vicariously through, the accomplishments of the guys you're coaching. You know, and
Yeah.
when I came in, I was young. I was 32 in the NFL, man. And the year before that, I was coaching high school ball. Like literally in January of '01, I was coaching high school football. And in January of '02, I was coaching in the NFL. So that's God. I mean, that's God and the right mentors and God putting people in my life to, hey, no, don't do that. Do this. Listen. Keep your eyes open. Keep your mouth closed. You know, look more than you speak. And when I got into the Skins, I remember our first meeting. Marvin put me in his office like, you want to make it? Marvin and a guy by the name of George Katopoulos, our DB coach. And
Katopoulos?
Katopoulos, George Katopoulos. Played at Purdue, was All-American. Coached under Coach Dungy at Indy for a long time, you know. And he pulled me aside. He said, you want to make it? I was like, yeah. He said, no ego, no attitude. I was like, all right. He said, you can't have an ego, you can't have an attitude in this business. I was 32, so everything he's saying, all right. And then Marvin pulled me in and said, don't be a fan. I'll never forget. He pulled me in and he said, don't be a fan. And he was like, you're going to coach some guys, you're going to coach Hall of Famers. So, you know, Bruce is on the team, and I'm just saying, you know, so we got Bruce, I got Ronald Wynn. I mean, there's guys. You know, Daryl Green was corner, Champ Bailey was out the corner, Sam was playing corner. LeVar Arrington, Antonio Pierce, they're all in the backing core. You know,
this is
guys.
Hall of Famers.
Yeah, Chris Sam. You know, there was dudes.
Yeah.
And he was like, don't be a fan.
It's a disservice to both of you.
Right. He was like, they're gonna sniff it out.
Yeah.
And you can't tell them anything. They're not gonna listen. You know, so they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So you better get to know your guys. You better master your craft and do not be a fan. Don't be in awe.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to coach them because you know you're in awe. You got to coach that.
Yeah.
I stuck with it. You know.
Yeah, because I mean, ultimately, no matter how good you are, like nobody can see you like somebody else can see you.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. You know, and humility is key. You know, so if you're going with a humble heart, like if you're going with a humble persona, man, you'll make a lot more waves. You know, because you're not trying to chest beat. I know this. You do it. You know, I mean, be humble.
Yeah.
You know, and that's I just would watch, sit in the meetings and just watch. Watch how Marvin conducted the meetings. Watch how Coach Berry conducted the meetings. Had the blessing to meet Coach Dungy at the combine on the elevator, and we connected, and he mentored me. And I would reach out to him and reach out to him from time to time now, and just, Coach, thoughts on this? Well, you know, just the humility of a man of such stature that would take the time to.
So, yeah, I mean,
talk back. I'm a newbie. You know, I'm on the elevator. We're talking about some stuff, and we had we shared the same player. So the guy with Eddie Mason was playing linebacker for us and played for him. And Eddie spoke really high at Coach. You know, he talked strong Christian dude. Eddie Mason would talk high at Coach Dungy. And so I have a chance to meet him. I was like, hey, Coach, you know, hey, I'm new. He's like, yeah, I know who you are. I'm like, oh, wow, okay. Because, you know, he gets hired. And so I said, Eddie, you know, Eddie speaks highly of you. And I just wanted to ask him a couple questions about how does he make it? How does his name not, like, how are you not involved in scandal? Like just real questions. Like, all the stuff that happens here in the line, like, well, how do you do it? You know, and I'm not asking, like, are you sneaking around? Just how did, like, I never hear about you, never see, how do you do this, Coach?
Stay clean like that.
Yeah, and it was like, man, first, God's important. And he's like, you know, stay to your craft. And just, you know, be a pro. He always say, be a pro. So, gonna be a pro. And being a pro didn't mean just being a pro ball coach, right? It meant be a pro in life. Like, be professional in your dealings.
It was like I was watching Terry Cruz's. You seen that?
Mm-hmm.
Terry Cruz's interview recently. He was talking to Shannon Sharp.
Okay.
And he was just saying after his tenure in the league, he was broke.
Yeah, right.
He said, but he started treating everything like, what if I was getting $1 million for it? He's like, I'm wiping floors. He's like, I'm doing it like, what if I get $1 million? With that attitude.
Correct.
And then, you know, he's the guy.
Thing.
Yeah. And it really is like your approach to everything.
Right, you got to be a pro. And when I was at Texas Southern, and I was a pro liaison, some guys would come in and talk to me about the seniors, right? And the scouts would come in, and I'd always ask them a question. I said, do you live to play or you play to live? I'd ask our guys that. And so I was like, that's a base question. And when I got to the league, I began to ask guys the same thing. Do you live to play or do you play to live? So if you couldn't play, what would happen? You'd die.
Yeah.
Right. But if you live to play, then you can take playing out. and put some play is just the X factor, right? So if I live to play, that means I'm doing X, Y, and Z, so I'm gonna have the opportunity to play. Take playing out. I live to be a good dad. I live to be a good husband. I live to be a good son. I live to be a good brother. I live to be a good boss. So now I'm doing certain things to make sure I have success over here. If I'm playing to live, I'm playing so I can have a flash, have a bling.
Yeah.
You know, what the guys call it the guap, you know. Right? So I'm getting the money. I'm getting the money on, as they call it nowadays. So I'm living a certain way. I'm playing so I can have this.
The things, the side
and
effects.
as soon as the playing stops, because it will.
Yeah, you can't play forever.
You can't live.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you totally shut down, I guess.
Right.
But, you know, I think that's the crazy thing about football because, like, it's a different relationship, I feel like, because I find it with myself, like, I feel like when people quit, like, basketball or whatever it is, and they can go play and it'd be fine, but, like, football is one of them things, like, man, if you feel like at all you can play, you know, it's kind of different because usually I think people play until their body simply can't.
Right.
Whereas, like, basketball, you know, you can play for probably the rest of your life, pick up games.
Well, the game is cold, right? Like, so I said this early. You know, I learned this early. The game is cold. As cold as a player, as cold as a coach. The game can be done with you lickety split.
Yeah.
And very few people have the ability to walk away from it.
To know when you're done.
Yeah, just be good with walking away from it. You still think you got one more and the game will come back. No, you don't have no more. And so you're left with, well, was I good enough? Was I not good enough? Or they make, you know, that rejection, right? So, and I remember, it's crazy you mentioned this. This is some years later, but Coach Spurrier would always say he wants to be in a position where he can walk away from a job. He never wants to be fired. And if you look at his career, he was never fired.
He's still at South Carolina?
No, he's done. He's done. He retired. He was never fired.
Yeah.
Never fired. Never fired.
Never.
Resigned.
Yeah.
Resigned. You know, I'm walking away from it. He had the ability. I want to be in a position to walk away from it.
Yeah.
And that's rare. Most people, hey, thank you. We're moving on. You want to go in a different direction. Yeah, thank you. Services aren't needed. You're just not. You get cut.
Yeah.
Services aren't needed. You weren't good enough. Like that's tough. Alpha male, you're competitive your whole life. You've been competing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need you anymore.
Like that.
Yeah. Wait, I still got, but I still no. You know.
Yeah, a friend of mine, older guy, you know, he always would say, like, man, it's not what you think it's worth, it's what people will pay for it.
Correct. Right. Well, what they.
I think I can play.
No, I'm not paying you for that. I'm not giving you $800,000 for. No, buddy, you can't do it. And that's tough to hear because you think you can. You don't want to let it go, and then somebody else telling you, no. There's a sense of you as a man, as an alpha male, you like rejection. Because most guys have not been rejected. When you get to that level, you've been pretty good at it. Your entirety. You've been the top in your junior tackle team. You're the tops in your high school team. You're the tops in your collegiate team. You get drafted or you don't get drafted. You make it. You make the cut. You're playing. You're at the pinnacle. Like you're in the top 1% or top 3%. Because if you put all the leagues together, you're in the top 3% of your profession.
Yeah, it's a fraternity at that point. It's not that many people that ever get in there.
And then we don't let you go.
Yeah.
What you mean? Like I just no. You're a little too old. But I'm 27. I'm not. Yeah, you older than this.
Yeah.
You're an old running back at 27. You know.
Yeah.
You're old.
Yeah, it's different. It's a totally different clock.
So you got to be okay with understanding that if you understand the game, right? You're all right. And I remember we joke around, sitting around coaches in the coach fraternity. It was like there's two type of coaches. Ones that haven't been fired and the ones that will get fired. So at some point in time, you will be both.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Unless you can.
Unless you're Steve Spurrier, there's an anomaly.
Right. You know, you're able to walk away. You know, Saban did it. He mastered it towards the end of his deal, but he had been let go. You know, in his tenure on his road to Bama, he was let go.
He took his lumps.
Yeah. So it's hard, even of the best, right? So if you understand that, then you know how to fight the beast, right? And if I don't understand the beast, I don't know how to fight the beast.
Yeah, like Art of War. You know what I mean? If you know yourself and not your enemy, you only win half the battle.
Right. So I gotta know the beast I'm fighting.
Yeah.
Dragon, I need a fire extinguisher. I can't go in there with some water, man. I need the high power stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I can't go with a little squirt gun. It ain't gonna work.
Nah, yeah,
So,
yeah. You need to know the nature of the beast, man.
Yes, definitely.
And man, so like, it's crazy, man. As far as football goes, I feel like, well, with anything, I guess that's like precious like that, there's no space for being like afraid at all. I feel like you really cannot. I don't know. I feel like the fear creep in at all a little bit,
Yeah,
and it ruin everything.
You can be nervous, but you can't be afraid. Man, they smell fear. I mean, you smell fear. Your presentation, if you're stumbling in your words and mumbling, you're not sure.
Yeah.
So there's people ready to pounce on that.
Yeah.
You know? You got to go present a defense, present a technique, and well, if we just do it like that and a dude hit you with a question, well, what about this? And you don't have the answer.
Yeah. Ultimately, it's the work. If you did the work, you're not gonna be afraid.
Right. So you got to craft, man. You got to there's sacrifices. You know, you got to sacrifice some stuff. You got to give some stuff up. I can't go hang out.
Yeah.
The guy's gonna go hang out and get some pizza after work. I'm gonna stay in the office and watch a little bit more film.
Yeah.
I'm work on the scout report a little bit. I'm gonna go back and watch this tech. If you're truly committed to that, right? And that doesn't mean you forego your other life obligations, you know. But when you're locked in, you're locked in, and then everything else, you're locked into everything else also. You know, because you're not conditionally locked into something, and you negate everything else. That's contradictory.
Yeah.
You can't be hyper focused over here and then completely aloof over here. You know, it's going
to spill over.
Yeah, eventually the rubber's going to meet the road. They're going to cross. So if I'm locked in here, then I'm locked in being a dad. I'm locked in being a husband. You know, I'm locked in being a brother. You know, like I got to treat that the same. So consistency is huge, and the biggest battle I think that we have is men, humans, is we're very consistent in being inconsistent.
Yeah, I mean,
you know, I'm into it. I lost 5 or 10 pounds. I'm with it.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm losing this weight. Oh man,
Yeah.
2 weeks into it. Oh,
Backsliding.
Yeah, man, that cookie looked real good. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, just one. Right, you know, being consistent. You gotta stay consistent. That's the battle. Once you lock into that, you start recognizing there's certain things you don't need. You know, so if it's not gonna help me prosper, it's not even about for me, for Deshaun. It's not about does Deshaun prosper. It's the Taylors of the world. It's the Jason Leaches. You know, it's the whoever I'm coming. I want to see them win. You know, so in order for me to see them, I gotta be locked in. How can they win? You know, where are they deficient at? Where are they strong at? Where can I help them? You know, in a servant attitude. You know, just a sense of servanthood. You know, be a servant. And those guys in front of me that brought me along, they were the same way. You know, for my mentors and bosses, you know, Marvin would sit me down and bring me off. I remember we worked a guy out at Hampton University, and we drove him for his pro day. Like, we were going to have him work out. And I drove, and he just talked to me, and I'm driving, and we worked this guy, and he had me work him out, and he's watching more, and he's pouring in, he's letting me shine. And then when I didn't do right after, he's like, hey, I probably would have did this, I probably would have did that. You know, but this is good right here. And so he's empowering me and correcting me at the same time, you know. But I couldn't be afraid.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess like it's kind of like what I've seen, I think, with Dungy and Peyton Manning. I mean, I know he did the work. Manning did the work, don't get me wrong. But I feel like giving him more responsibility to where he could make mistakes made him a lot better.
Oh,
some quarterbacks, I feel like they didn't get that ability to change plays and stuff. And then I feel like they didn't get
better. Was it trust too, right?
Yeah.
They got you teach about trust that you know what you're talking about.
You're doing the work to get the trust.
Right. You didn't just change it because you want to throw the ball.
Yeah.
You changed because you saw the coverage. So there's all kinds of stuff that went into before you can make the check. You know, it goes from vanilla to Neapolitan, you know. Oh my, vanilla, check, chocolate. You know, there's a reason why you're saying chocolate is Omaha on that thing. You know what I mean? There's a reason.
We're on the same page.
Right. You saw it. We talked about it. Yeah. Okay, I trust you. Show me that I can trust you. I just don't give you the reins. I'm going to throw the fake on. No, I ain't going to work like that now. But we talked and we just sat out and met and you said, okay, and you keep telling me, oh, okay. You know, I try to do that with our kids down here. I had a linebacker I had really good linebackers come through and been blessed. But I had one, I talked to you about him earlier, Greg Holt, where there was some calls that we make on defense, and so certain back sets or whatever, and he comes to the sideline and be like, Coach, like this and this happened. I'm like, well, you like it? He's like, yeah. I'm like, you know, check it. I'm gonna check to this then, you know.
Yeah.
Trusting it.
Yeah.
You know, give him the reins. Hey man, here's some tools. You show me you can use the tools and build a house. You know, let's get it done. You know, that's what, Coach, I see it. I like it.
Yeah.
Can we check to this? Oh yeah, I've been waiting on you.
Yeah.
I've been waiting. Oh yeah, go ahead then.
Yeah, they gotta meet you at a spot.
Yeah, let him cook.
Yeah.
You know, they said, let you cook. Then
Yeah.
go ahead, do your thing, and then he do it, and he, you know, he understood. Now you're empowering him, so now he feels like there's ownership in the product. And once,
Yeah, it's like having stock.
yes,
Yeah.
boy, you don't want your stock to drop.
Yeah, we're all in it together at this
Right.
point.
So you trying to make the money, and you want him to make the money, so we all in this together.
Yeah.
Hey man, you got to be in that B gap. I got you. I'm being A gap. I'm gonna put you in B. I'm being A gap. So they start talking. So, I remember one of my mentors would say, "The person that knows how will always have a job. The person that knows why will always be the boss. So be the why guy." So my job is to create why guys. Got to create why guys. Got to create why. Why am I doing this? You know, why do we need to do this? Why are we doing it now? You know, why?
Really get to the bottom of it.
Yeah. So I understand why. I'm just not doing it because it looks cool and we play on Madden.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not doing it because Drake's doing it. You know.
Yeah. Nah,
Why?
yeah. No. It took me a while to understand, or to begin to understand that. Like as far as like why are we running this play, to run the next play, to run the next play, to run the next play.
Right.
I never knew. It took me a while.
Yeah. Business coaching, right?
Yeah.
Craft, once again, it goes back to crafting. You know.
Yeah. So like, as you coach your sons.
Mm-hmm.
When I guess I gotta go back. Like, when did you have your children in this process? Because I mean, you basically have like a bunch of sons, kind of coaching almost in some respect.
Yeah.
Like at least for a period of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, like we're surrogate. We're talking about we're surrogate dads, right? Like me.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna have. I'm gonna have your son. Let's say from 7:30 in the morning until 8 at night. It's over 12 hours, man. And now I'm gonna have him longer than that on Fridays. So when your son gets home, homework, shower, dinner, bed.
And then back to you.
And there might be some conversation. How was your day? But okay, mom, fine, dad. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's not much interaction. So there's an obligation that we have to craft. I got to give your child back to you better than what he came. I got to make sure that I'm still supporting what you guys stand for, what your morals and values are. As long as they align with the ones on the football team, I'm going to back the parent. You know. So my kids grew up in that. Like they were born. My oldest son was born on the day we were playing St. John Bosco. He was born like at 5 in the morning on a Friday. We had a football game that night. So I'm ready like to not be there. And so at the time, his mother, my ex, you know, she had the baby. We're there. Had a day off. And she looks over and was like, you got to go. You got to coach this game. It was high school. And the nurse like, well, it'll be when you get through, we'll let you back in. So I went and coached.
On the day your son was born?
On the day, I was there all morning, and then time to go for pregame meals. She was like, go. I'm like, ah.
Like, I already did it. She's like, it's already done?
Yeah, she's like, go. So, you know, she was there, and then we went and took care of business, and then my other son was born in April. That's spring ball. You know, he's born in April.
Yeah.
She was born during spring football and track season. And then my daughter was born on the first day of minicamp.
For where?
For the Redskins.
For the Redskins?
Yeah, so it was the first day of minicamp. And I remember Marvin called, was like, yeah, where you at? What hospital are you in? I'm like, I'm over here, such and such. He's like, all right, good. Congratulations. What room is everybody in? Get flowers sent. I'm like, all right, cool. Thanks, Marvin. You know, yeah, so, and it's not bad. It's just the work, you know. He goes, yeah, all right, so don't come to the morning meeting and you miss practice. Like, miss the morning meeting, miss practice, but we'll see you at the second meeting, you know. So, see you at the second meeting, second practice. And I was like, all right.
Yeah.
You know, like,
he's like, you're not having the baby.
Right. Yeah, but we're, you know,
Yeah.
but you understand.
Yeah, this is very serious business.
Right, so there's this understanding.
Because y'all all got kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then when I was married, my anniversary was on draft day.
Damn.
So dinner's at 10 o'clock at night. Anniversary dinner was like Let's get to the restaurant, make the call, and maybe they'll hold it open for us and put us back in the room and 10, 11 o'clock. Flowers went, roses, I love you, but I ain't gonna be home no time soon. I'm gonna be home to about 10, so
I mean, the
put your
team.
best on, and we're gonna get this dinner at about 10:30, 11 o'clock. So it's just that, and then my kids were born when I was coaching at Bishop High School. They'd be at practice. They're watching. they're around. They're watching. They're running around tackling bags. They're running over bags. They're watching plays. They grew up in the business. When we got to Florida, they're at the swamp. They're playing in the suite. They're playing upstairs, playing with coach's kids. They were. We go down to the field and let them run around on the field, and they're playing football. They're playing on the field.
Yeah.
And then got the skins. They go to minicamp and they hang out at the facilities. And they go outside and run on the turf and run. I have a picture of Antonio Pierce's oldest kid, my son, and my other son, and we're in Carlisle, Pennsylvania for camp. And they're lined up. They're going to race. They play together.
Yeah.
So they grew up around.
They knew the excellence, though. I guess they knew what it was going to take, I guess.
And they wanted to play. I never forced them.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Like, did you ever push football on them?
No. They wanted to play, be around it, want to play, take my old high school highlight films with teams I coached, and when I was where we lived in Virginia, they'd be in the basement, downstairs in the playroom, and they'd be rewinding and reenacting the highlight film moves and what the coach was saying. Yeah. I just sit back and look like, wow. Then they want to play. They'd be in the basement playing tackle, like just booming each other. I'm like, all right, just not to the face. And they just got active, and they just stayed with it. And if you want to play, and they're like, you want to play football. Actually, my Simeon, my second child, his first sport was baseball.
Because you played baseball. I mean,
I did, but
you on some Bo Jackson stuff.
I was just playing the game, man. I was playing the game. But Sam played baseball first because he wasn't old enough to play on the football team. So he played baseball. We were in Houston. We lived in Houston. He was playing baseball on the baseball team and getting after it. And then he went on to the football deal, So they just wanted to play. So we let them play. Hey, you want to play? Play. The only rules I had is if I ever came to practice, I was coaching, so, I was on. If I ever came to practice and saw them running, and nobody else was running, they were going to get in trouble. That means they did something wrong.
Yeah.
And if they weren't saying yes and no. I mean, I wasn't a big yes sir, no sir guy. I mean, I grew up in the West, and so that wasn't really embedded in us. But they were kind of reared. Their rearing years were in the South, Bible Belt, Gainesville, Florida, Virginia, Houston, El Paso. So yes ma'am, no ma'am, we're real big. So my deal was like, manners, and you better not be running when nobody else is running. If I come to practice and see you running, we got a problem. It means you weren't listening.
Yeah.
You weren't paying attention. So.
So I mean, like they had to come to you because they knew you had the formula for what was necessary. Right?
That's tough, man. They said they wanted to play, and I was like, "Do you?" And they're like, "Yeah." So they play, and I'd watch, and then if they wanted to work on something, we'd go in the backyard. Okay, work on this and try this. So I give them some advanced directives, maybe, and we're working on knocking hands down like you're 5 or 6 years old or whatever.
Yeah,
I understand this, but
they got a leg up.
Yeah, but.
They wanted it though. It's not like
it was like you're gonna go outside and you're gonna run 50 pass routes and catch 50 balls and you better not drop one. It wasn't that.
It's not like Ryan Leaf's dad.
It wasn't that. It was you want to play. The only thing we have, man, is do your best. Like the code is you never give up. Like when Burns code, you better not quit and do your best. Always do your best. Don't ever quit and always do your best. So that's it. I mean, you talk to them now. If you're interviewing, hey, talk to them. Yeah, we don't quit. Like Burns, you don't quit, and you always do your best. Always do your best. So and the competitive nature comes out that way, in my opinion.
So because I mean, like you've seen, you've been around, so you've seen people that had dads that played pro ball, and then there was no way that they were ever going to have a shot.
I don't know. I mean, I played with some guys that.
Because both your sons went pro.
Yeah, and respect and a fashion. Yeah, they're both playing. They're both in mini camp. They're both in camp right now making rosters. But I've seen some. I played with some guys in college that were deemed to win the Heisman. You know, in my class, he's supposed to win the Heisman. God bless him. He was a warrior. Like I played with him all day, every day, 6 days till Sunday. But he got pushed, and it was just like it was weird to watch that because we're the same age. You know, and that's a lot of pressure at 17, 18. Man, you're figuring stuff out. You know, I play with guys, sons who won Heisman trophies. I play with a guy who's got an award named after his son. His dad has an award named after him. And to play with him and just see the pressures, and you're like, man, like, I don't want that. You know, I'm not putting that on my kid. You want to play? Then you know the rules. Do your best. Never give up. Say yes and no. Be coachable and go hard. That's it.
Yeah.
Chips will fall where they're made. Right? If you can ball, they're gonna find you. And I knew that being a coach. You ain't gotta go find. My job is to go find the talent. I'm gonna find a 6'4", 6'5" quarterback to chuck that thing. I'm looking. Otherwise, I don't eat. Right? So I don't care where you are. Yeah. You can be in the backside of Uganda. You know,
as long as you can do it.
Well, I get the film. I'm trying to get a ticket to get a flight to Uganda and watch you play.
Yeah.
So you can do that, but it's not the pressure. No, when they say they want to play, okay, then probably in middle school they're like, we want to play college ball. It's like, are you sure? Yeah. Then they're like, we want to play D1. Are you sure? Yeah. Well, then life looks different.
Yeah.
Like what you got to do looks different than what Johnny has to do. Then I will want to play pro. Are you sure? And my son was both of them play in their junior, senior high school. Like we want to, you know, obviously play college and we want to play in the league, and it's just a different life. Like, you know. So are you sure? Sure. Okay. This is what it looks like. This is what it's going to take. This is how you got to work. This is what you got to do. I'm here. So know when it's time to come to work. And I think you caught a workout. Not with them necessarily, but you caught what it was like.
Oh yeah, you got kids throwing up and stuff. I seen
you caught what it looked like.
Yeah, no, I mean, but I seen it, you're doing things. Some drills I've never seen, man. You know what I mean? Some of them drills I've never seen. I've been around football a decent amount of time, not like you, but still, yeah, I would have thought I might have seen them at some point.
Right.
Yeah, but nah, man. So that's why I feel like, you know, if I would have, I don't know, it is what it is, but if I would have been around you or a coach like you, man, I wonder how it would have went, you know?
Right.
So I can't, it's crazy to me, like, because you were telling me about, like, the way parents and stuff, and, you know, in the surrounding area, how, you know, people would not want to come your way. I'd be like, man, if they knew your pedigree or go to one of your workouts, I feel like, all right, they'd be like, they should just know, like, this is the way we want to go.
Well, I mean, you know, people chase a shiny new toy, right? But people don't understand the shiny new toy gets rusty, too. Yeah. So... And there's a good amount of people that come in and get to work, or they come and then they come here and, you know, and they do. I mean, we have good teams. You know, we have our guys, the ones that are here want to be here and they want to play and they want to get after it. And, you know, it's prosperous for them. It works out. Not everybody's going to go to the Power 5, you know, Power 5 D1. They're not all. Yeah. But if you want to go, there's some place for you to go. And we'll have that come to Jesus, sit down, real talk about where the skill set is and where it's not. But then you have the outlying forces that, you know, what division? What do they do? I mean, I'm not going to brag on nothing. Just do your research. I mean, there's good schools everywhere. I'm not saying I'm the honest. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is do your research before you just knock, because you think that it doesn't happen over. You'd be quite surprised.
Yeah. What
happens as you spend time and seen and learn some things, you know, or found some things out.
Yeah, for sure. In a short period of time. And I mean, as far as, you know, just since I've been seeing you recently, I'm like, man, I don't know how a parent could come over here and not recognize, but, you know, at the same time, they might have not played, though, and stuff. They might have not had any.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things that I think for a lot of the coaches out there that are really into it for the betterment of the kid, right, and the family, right, and obtaining realistic goals. Sometimes the truth is not digestible, right? I like to I want to hear how nice Johnny is. You're not telling me how nice Johnny is. Don't mean Johnny ain't nice. He can be nice, but right now Johnny's not nice. So we got to work on Johnny getting nice. But somebody else might be telling you how nice Johnny is, so that's easier to digest.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I love my kids to death, but I know they need to work on some stuff. And so we have real talks, like real talks. And my son, the oldest one, played at a high level in D1. Then been in the show, been on 3 NFL teams, been in the USFL and won 2 championships there, and was with, another NFL team this offseason. And it's been released, and it's not, it happens. So even with the pedigree and the connection, I'm not going to make a call, hey, bring my kid in and work him out or something, my kid, do me a solid. That's not earned, man,
Yeah.
There's something.
It won't even taste as good.
Right, and he don't want it.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I don't want nothing on the laurels of you calling a favor in. So I won't do it. Hey, look, man, you got to battle. So what do you got to do? Got to fix this, maybe. You got to fix that. Maybe you got caught up in the numbers. It works like that. As Keith Murray would say, it be like that sometimes.
Keith
So
Murray.
yeah, so you got to, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But man, either you're going to tuck tail or you're going to knuckle up. It's one of the two. So if you're trying to do this, get ready. And be ready to knuckle up and thug it out until you can't do it no more. But don't expect or I gotta hear something nice. There's gonna be some stuff that's not gonna be pleasant to hear. And so sometimes people don't gravitate to that. They much rather hear, hey, he's nice, he's good. Yeah, he can go to SC. No, he can't.
But you need honesty.
Right.
So
I'm
you
not
can build.
hating. He can go here, but he can't go here. But he does this. I know he does this like here in this area. Like you're from Jersey.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's 6'3", 6'4" dudes walk around Jersey to play football.
Oh yeah.
In the snow, like in October and November.
Yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
they're kind of tough.
And they want it. Yeah.
And they don't have the best Nike Air Vapor hologram shoes. That they got some rough stuff.
Yeah.
Or you go down to Bill Glades, Florida, and I those that know me know, they probably get tired of hearing this. I make every team I've ever coached watch the history of the rabbits, chasing rabbits. And so they're down in Belle Glades, Florida, down right above the Everglades. Glade Central, Glade High, Belle Glades High. They chase rabbits in sugarcane fields. These football players do. In 2024. And they don't have cleats on. They don't got the latest Nikes on. They didn't went and changing their Under Armour stuff. No. They're getting out of shop class with machetes, wicks, their hair's wicked up. They got Timberland boots or work boots. They got cut off. They're coming from school, and they're going to chase rabbits in a sugarcane field to help the sugarcane croppers. And now, mind you, they're setting sugarcane on fire to smoke the rabbits out. And so these guys are leaving class and they're going and chasing rabbits in the sugarcane. And if you ever seen the terrain of sugarcane, it's muck. It's watery. It's soft. It's like mud. They call it the muck.
Yeah.
So in 2024, there's kids that look like me and look like you chasing rabbits in sugarcane and catching 50, 60 rabbits. And in order to run the football, and you don't believe me, look it up. We're all done. Look up Chasing Rabbits. It's on 60 Minutes. In order to run the football, you got to catch 75 rabbits. So you can be 6'1", 190. And if you can't catch the rabbits, you gotta play tackle. You gotta be guard.
It's just that simple. I mean, it's Florida, I guess, high standard.
So
yeah.
Them jokers are catching 80, 90. So you catch whatever. And they go for $2 or $3 a rabbit. Cottontail's like $5 a rabbit, right? So you catch one of them, right? So you understand, they might not live in a 3-bedroom, 3,500 square foot home for Like the means might be different, man.
But they're tough though.
Oh,
yeah.
extremely. And so 75 gets me on the field. Plus, it helps, right? That might be a fundraising program. Sell the rabbits off. We're helping the croppers. It's smoke. And like there's smoking out there. I'm in the sugarcane. There's fire 2 miles away, and that smoke is coming. I catch these rabbits. Anything above 75 are mine. So if I catch 100, that's 25 I can sell.
Yeah.
Maybe the lights are off.
Yeah, walk away with 125, pay the light bill.
Maybe the lights are off. Maybe there's no food in the refrigerator. I'm just saying this is the reality of the football world, like the climate, right? So them jokers are 6'2", 240, catching 80, 90 rabbits, and they play tailback. And they run 4-4.
You to catch rabbits up, I assume you got to be
So,
moving.
and they interviewed a guy, he played for Polk High School. Look at the documentary. They interviewed a guy, he's a linebacker. He said, if I can catch a rabbit in the muck, just juking and faking and cutting, he was hitting a human is nothing. Like
Yeah, there's nothing. Yeah.
And that's their mindset, right?
Yeah.
Or you go to some places outside of the U.S., right? So you get to certain spots in Tonga and Samoa where there's still no hot water in some of the village. You know, you got guys in the village. You know, there's still some parts that are just behind, and it's just what it is. That's just the culture.
Yeah.
And so I'm 6'6", 270. I can jump and dunk a basketball. I'm light on my feet, and I got a 3.7 GPA, and I might be the first one in my family to get a college degree, and I'm driven. And I'll appreciate a dormer with a bed that I don't got to share with 4 or 5 others.
Yeah.
I'll appreciate a hot shower.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay in school.
Yeah, you're going to complete that. Yeah.
Right. So I'd much rather recruit that.
Yeah. Somebody that's going to
The
finish the
kid, he
job.
want to leave, he mad, the coach got on him, and I can get coach started out here. My parents, I mean, it's alive. Like, I got to catch, we got to go make dinner before we go to school. You know, that's happening in certain parts
Yo, yeah. Yes,
of our world. You know, I was in Dusseldorf shooting 08, 07, 08 for 4 or 5 days. I went to Cologne, I went to Dortmund, I was in Dusseldorf. We did a clinic. We went to Cologne. I'm 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", 6'7", just walking around. And they played some football over there. And their motivation was, we have to, once we graduate, we need to play ball in the States because we don't want to go in the military. You know, you got to do 2 years of military service.
Yeah, compulsory, yeah.
So look, coach, look, I need to go. Hey, look, what we got to do, I need to go.
Yeah, whatever it
My
takes.
grades are right. I'll run through a wall. I mean, I worked the guy out. And it was snowing. And the snow was probably up to your shin. I'll never forget this. And I went out back, and they had cleared out probably 15, 20 yards. And this year we came out with them gray shorts and tight huckamams, you know, smooth pockets, you know, tight white shirt, molded Nike cleats, and was rolling. And he slipped and hit his leg, and skin, you know, it was a turf, it's ground. So his skin came up, he was bleeding, you know, skin came off his leg. I was like, hey man, we can kill the workout right now. You know, we gotta get that looked at. He was like, mm-mm. He's like, what's the next drill? I was like, oh, say less. Like, I'm signing this. Like, I'm offering this. I'm all, hey, we gotta offer this guy.
Yeah.
And he can move. You know, he's 6'6", 270, can run, can change direction, can bend, can all the intangibles, and he was a 3.7 GPA guy.
And you got the mentality.
Yeah, I don't want to go to the service. I don't want to go to the military.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to do 2 years, so let me go to the States and get this degree and play and knock people out. And you know, I don't want to go to the military.
Yeah, nah, yeah, I feel it, man. So like, you were telling me, like, when you talking to all of us about a week ago about, like, how the culture of college has changed so drastically. Like, what is it, how different is it in high school now? And I guess you can even go into Pop Warner if you want, but like, how different is it? Because college is obviously totally night and day difference the way it used to be.
Yes.
Well, like, when you were in high school, how was the football then compared to now? Like,
Well, I think on the recruiting side, there was no social media, obviously, right? So coaches had to go spend time and really vet a guy. I'm gonna go see him practice. I'm gonna go spend time. I'm gonna talk to him. I'm gonna talk to his coach. I'm gonna talk to his teacher. I'm gonna talk to the janitor. I'm going to talk to the young lady that's taking me down to see him. When I was recruiting, you know, I go to the main office and here to see so-and-so. Yeah, in the football office. Okay, he's down there. Sally, can you take him to go see Coach so-and-so? Yeah, sure. So, yeah, who you here to see? I'm here to see Joe Jones. Okay. Oh, Joe, he's so funny. Oh, really? He's so funny. Yeah, he likes to party. Oh, he does.
yeah, blow it. Yeah.
He flirts with the girls. Oh, really? He never in class. Oh, really? Okay. And they're just talking. She loves to talk. Or I'm trying to find my way and see the janitor. He had seen 19 Katrina colleges come through,
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, here's if he's here, he's probably over here. So then the janitor's just talking there. Yeah, good kid. He always cleans up. His locker's never messed up. He's at school. Oh man, the dude's ditching. You find out stuff, right? And then let me go talk to the English teacher. I get the transcripts. Let me see where that lowest grade is. Let me see if I can talk to the English teacher. Why does he got a D in it? Is he lazy? Does not get it? Oh, it doesn't work, or needs a little help. You know what I mean? So you're vetting that. So when you didn't miss on guys, you didn't miss. Now social media, stars, this and that, people are chasing the wrong things. Guys miss. Being put through adversity is like a no-no. They don't want to have to go through some hardships. There's a immediate microwave culture where I need immediate payout now, right? And it started some years ago, if we're being honest. And I've had multiple conversations about this with a lot of my colleagues, and parents and stuff. And years ago it started. So in junior tackle years ago, when you look at the class of guys that were playing junior tackle years ago, all the team jumping. Playing this team, playing this conference.
Yeah.
You know what? We're not winning. Our team's sorry. Let me go over here where the ballers are. So let me play on the team with the ballers. Because the ballers win the trophies.
I just want to wear the jersey.
Yeah, and I happen to get in. Or let me go over here. Or somebody's telling me how good I am and I don't have to work on anything. So they began to chase that. And then, it's a touchy subject, but they're holding back. So people are mad about the portal. And they're mad about this other stuff. But that's just the super holdback. Right, the portal is just the super holdback. So I'm 25 and I got 2 more years left.
That's crazy to me, man.
Right, so now you're mad, but you might have done the same thing.
If I was that age, you're saying.
No, like when you were younger, you did kind of the same thing. So now it was happening down here, and there was nothing wrong with it. I didn't see anything wrong with it. I'm gonna hold you back a year or two, let you have the competitive edge against people that are 2 years younger than you. So you should be whooping them because you're older, more mature.
Yeah. Our point guard in high school was like that, man.
Right. Yeah. You should be dunking. Dunking. You can buy a beer. Like you should be, right.
Yeah.
So, and there's reasons. It used to be if you held back, you were lacking socially or academically. Viable reasons to be. It wasn't about gaining a competitive edge. You just competed, right? You competed. Now it's kind of morphed into a competitive edge, and so, I looked around, he'd be the number 1 running back in his class. Says who? Like, you can't get to the kid whose parents don't have the money to send him to a camp, who's playing in the park and playing with his buddies and goes to high school, and he don't have money to get to a camp, so you don't know about him.
Yeah.
But based on this or that, we're going to, back so you can be the number 1 in the class. Well, it's messing up the value system, right? So, holdbacks are going to dominate on kids I'm supposed to dominate because I'm older than. But the guy that's the age that he should be, that goes to college at 17 or 18 and he's playing against draft picks, his eyes are opened. And so he's fighting for his life. He's fighting and he's had some adversity. He's had some disappointment. Yeah. He's been punched in the chin a little bit. He knows how to punch back.
He can get up and dust himself off.
So when you've never experienced that and you get thrown into the lion's den, man, you get thrown in there with the wolves and you've never had any adversity, hence I want to transfer. Hence I want to leave. I'm not used to sitting the bench. How do I deal with sitting the bench? I got to battle. Well, let me go somewhere and let me play right away. So let me get in the portal. So what we're not understanding is that you were at Georgia. Well, let me give you this. It was Rudd, right? Henry Rudd that won Heisman a few years back, right?
Yeah, I think so.
The Alabama receiver.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. He was a 3rd-team receiver. He won Heisman.
He came up from 13?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. The 1st-team receiver on his team was up for Heisman in Alabama. He got hurt. The 2nd-team receiver was supposed to win the Heisman. He got hurt. So Rudd comes in and wins the Heisman. So you had 3 Heisman Trophy potential, you had 3 Heisman Trophy winner candidates in the same receiver room. And he stuck it out. He did his thing. He wins the Heisman. So, if in fact, and I'm gonna be quick, I'm hearing you, you decide to leave, you jump in the portal, and I have a need for a receiver, and I'm at University X. The third team receiver who's got like 20 snaps under his belt, he just didn't get 60, he didn't get 70, he didn't get 50, he got 20 or 30. Alabama. He's in the portal. I got a chance to get it. We're not talking NIL money. We're not even talking about money, right? We're just talking about skill set. I got a chance to upgrade my roster. I'm probably going to go get you, which means the guys that have been there playing for me, well, I can't beat him out. Let me.
So they shuffle out. Right?
Let me get out. So either I'm going to play musical chairs in the Power 5 D1 majors, or I'm going to go to the mid-major. So you will get the third, 14th guy in the major to fall to the mid-major. FCS, right. Then those guys are going to fall to the 1AA. Then those guys are going to fall to the D2. Then they're going to fall to the D3, and they're going to fall to NAI. So pretty soon, NAI team got a dude that was playing in the Conference USA. You know, he was a D1 AA guy. He filled out. And he balling.
Yeah.
So the NAI guy's like, what about the kid that's been here? So then the high school kid's like, where's my job? And then the junior college kid, where's my job? Why might not need your services? Well, I can get a guy that's 24 and he got 2 more years, and he had a draft grade on him. He just wants to go higher. He can go in the 5th round. He wants to go in the 3rd round.
He's supposed to come
20
back.
more games.
Yeah.
But he don't want to be there because that guy's got 20 more games, and he's coming back. I thought he was leaving. He's not leaving. He gonna get drafted. We can get one drafted with us.
So this is why you were saying Nick Saban quit.
My personal opinion, I think there's a mass exodus out of college because guys don't want to deal with what's happening now. You know, NILs and people coming in and saying it's going to cost you $4, $5, $10 for me to take a visit. You know, what's it gonna cost me for me to visit? What's it gonna cost you for me to visit? Why you want to play in those games, man? You know, like it's a lot. It's a lot on the coach, it's a lot on the program. It's a lot on the family. Like I'm on a plane today and I'm in Florida. All of a sudden, this kid jumped in the portal and everybody hears about him. He's a big time kid. Somebody's got to go get to him. So if we're recruiting right now, I'm going to have to cut my time short here and jump on the next plane smoking to go try to talk to this kid. I haven't been home in 4, 5, 6, 12 days.
Because everybody's just shuffling around.
Right, chasing. And then the money thing, the NIL, and well, he's asking for $3 million. Well, can we get 3.5?
They're getting millions of dollars, huh?
I don't know how many are actually getting. I don't know. That's thrown out there. I mean, you know, and I don't know if that's all guaranteed. I don't know whether it's contractual. You know, I mean, I don't know if it's secured. The illusion that look, I'm business owner X, and
Because you were saying that the guy, the third string QB at one of them schools,
Coach Loxley went online and said that his third string quarterback was asking for $100,000.
$100,000 to be third string though, like.
Yeah, but I need $100,000 NIL, you know, and I'm 20. Let's say you went at 18, so you're 21. Let's say you've been at 3 days. You're 21. I need $100,000. I'm third string. I haven't been on the field a whole bunch, but I need $100K. And I still could leave.
That's crazy. It's almost like extortion.
I still could leave. If I don't like it, I could medically retire. I could still leave. So those pressures, and it's at the hands of serving the want, right? So the master, hey, why can't a guy leave? I mean, there's a big discussion on that. Coach leave all the time. Kids should be able to leave, and I've been one.
I get that, and I guess that was the end of it. I guess where it seemed like there has to be some type of change.
Yeah, some type of regular.
Because coaches could just recruit guys and then leave and abandon a bunch of guys.
Yeah, but I mean, my advice to my sons were, my son went through a coaching change when he was at University of Arizona, and his senior year they didn't win a game. It was tough. They didn't win a game. I remember we talked, and he was talking about, he was like, dudes are leaving, they're getting the portal. I was like, man, look, no. Like, Like, don't do it. Like, your word means everything. You know, my father taught me before he passed away. All you have in this life is your name and your word. Always keep your word and protect your name. So you agreed to go and play there. Why? Was it for the football program? If that's the case, that's wrong because that can change, right?
Yeah.
If it's for the logo, that's wrong because they don't change the logo, don't change a record, don't change you better academically because you're gonna have your paper longer than you have your cleats. You're gonna have that degree longer than you have your cleats. So that was in our house. That was a strong discussion because he could have transferred.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm not. And that worked out really well for him when it came time for scouts to come in and talk to him. And they saw that he saw something through.
Loyalty.
That he battled through an 0 for season, and it was dismal. It was rough. But he still battled, and he was like, yeah, I'm not doing it. Like, he was like, I'm not doing it. This is where I started, this is where I finished. I had a chance to transfer when I got hurt in SC, and I was like, I started out to be a Trojan. I'm going to finish a Trojan. And I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be a pediatrician. And they had a great med school. SC had a great med school. So I went there academically. You know, it's a good, the power of the degree goes a long way, whether the ball happens or not, right? The networking and all that stuff. So I was going to finish it at SC. He's going to finish it at the University of Arizona. He's going to finish at Chowan. Like, that's not an option, like transferring. So we're not having that discussion. You won't get my support on it because, well, what's the reasons? Are you in danger? You know, is the program shutting down? You know, if you that guy, be that guy, right? You know what I'm saying? You got to be around other guys to be the guy. Now, how about you be the guy where you're at? Like, go and handle your business and be that dude.
Yeah, it's kind of like what you were saying about coaches too. Like, do you think you'll care more if you're paid more, or?
Correct.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I learned that early, and the Bible talks about it. You got to do everything like you do it under God, right? And so, if you pay me more, I'll work harder. It ain't gonna work. That's not gonna work because guys are sitting there saying, "Look, there's guys that have had to sweep locker rooms out and line football fields." And now it doesn't happen as much nowadays, but everybody's looking at the D1 jobs. But them D3 schools, man, and D2 schools, and man, AI schools, I'm teaching math. I got 2 units of PE. I got to wash the uniforms. I might be counseling, helping you get classes. This coach might be the dorm check coach. You know, he got to do the study hall. He got to make sure meal plan's right. Then he got to go pick kids up, possibly. Then you got to line the field. Then you got to make sure transportation is right. I mean, look, it's hard.
Yeah.
The glitter goes to the D1 jobs. But there's a lot of dudes out there working really hard, or you're GAing and you're going and getting coffee and you're getting people's laundry and you're working on your masters. And you can't miss class.
I guess that's why when guys do climb the ranks, though, they're not giving up nothing. They're like, I did everything to get.
Correct.
Yeah.
So you appreciate the process.
Yeah.
Right? Like you cherish that process so you understand the end result, man, is a combination of this process. So I'm going to go hard. Because I don't understand not going hard because, man, it values something. So if you're only going to work hard because, now I'm not saying you work for pennies. I'm not saying that you're starving and you're homeless because you want to chase this dream. But you got to understand, if you're coming into it, you can't come and expect high dollar and your value is low dollar. Like what do you bring?
You want to get what you work for, and it's like over a body of work. Like,
right.
That just
You got to be doing these crazy hours. Did you apply for the job? Did you know the job came with this? Yes. So how do you want to change the pay scale?
Yeah.
Did you apply? You knew what this, and you saw what the job was going to pay, and you saw the qualifications, right? And you were geeked up to go do it. Why? Because the logo, you like that logo. So you'll do that there. So you can say, I coach here, I coach there. But you pay me so I can't break film down. That come with the job. I don't break film down because you got to pay me $5-10 more. Well, there's somebody that will work for that.
Yeah, there's plenty of people out here that will.
Right, there's some people that work for that, and they sleep in their office. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, I granted it's a dying breed, but you look at the old stories of the Belichick years, and guys are living in an apartment, and they're going after it, and they're eating, they're putting their money together and getting a pizza and sharing a pizza for 2 days. I'm not saying you need to live that life, but I'm saying when you start to an employer. I'm looking for a job. I want to be employed by Taylor Blood and Associates. I come in, you sit down. I've applied to work for you. You didn't come get me. I've asked, can I sit down and get some of your time? You say, yeah. Okay, what's it gonna pay? Well, this. Well, you want me to do all that for this amount of money? Yeah, I need more. You'll get a better me if you give me more money. How about you get a better me off top, and you'll see that you need to give me more money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you give me everything you got. I'm gonna give you everything I got. So you're like, man, I'm underpaying this dude. And that's how promotions happen.
Yeah, I mean, somebody's gonna recognize something's gonna break him, and you can't. I feel like you can't give to just give and not something come back. I feel like
Right.
it's a design.
And it's not my time. It's God's time. Like I
Yeah.
said, I mean, I was coaching high school ball in '01. So I was head coach in football, D coordinator, head track coach. You know, I had a couple classes. Did the basketball, did the baseball thing. You know, special teams guy, did the powder puff. I was doing all that. In '01 of January, then '02 of January, I'm coaching in the NFL. And in that time, I had a stint at the #1 team in college football. I was University of Florida. We were ranked #1 in the country, and we lost to Auburn and we lost to Tennessee. And we had 2 cracks at the national title. Lost. Went and played Maryland, beat Maryland when Friedgen was there, and James Franklin was on the staff. He's now at Penn State, and Loxley was at Maryland, was on the staff. Never loaded. Coach Friedgen was there, and we beat him in the Orange Bowl, right? That January, the following year, I'm in the NFL. And I took a pay cut in the process. From when I was at Alma, I took a pay cut to go to Florida.
Yeah, I remember you were saying 60. It's like 60 racks, 60,000.
Yeah, I took a pay cut.
But you get the experience.
Right, and so, man, what has that done for me? That sacrifice has ballooned into something well beyond that, man. You know, for my family, for others. So it was never about, I need to get this, you need to pay me more. 'Cause I know my worth, so let me show you my worth. Right? If I operate in my worth, you will recognize my worth.
How do you know when guys love it? How do you know when a guy,
Shoot, that's a great question. Like I like to say it's a vibe. Like when you talk, you just feel like you there's a look, there's just the way guys talk, the way they interact, the way they move.
But you know when the guy does it,
you know
the guy don't.
when he's on it. Like
Yeah.
it's like yeah. He's a football dude. Like this dude's a coach. There's guys that coach football and there's football coaches. There's guys that play football and there's football players.
Yeah, it's real, man. It really is real, man.
You know,
Yeah.
I play football. Are you a football player? I'm picking Darryl Green's brain at work. Man, Darryl, so why 20 years the same team? Like you ain't never went nowhere. You didn't cover Jerry Rice. You didn't pick off Jaworski. You didn't pick off Marino. You didn't pick off Joe Montana. You didn't pick off Aaron Garcia. Joe Garcia. You didn't cover David Boston. Like you didn't cover T.O. You might have been around when Carmichael was around. Like what? Like what? How? What? And how he lives? He was a football player. Like the stuff he did, the way he talked, the way he moved in the meetings, the way he went about his business. He was a pro.
Yeah.
He was a professional in his life.
Like a master.
Yes,
of the craft,
man, what? You 5'9". You done ran down Eric Dickerson and Tony Dorsett. Like you ran them down. The NFL's fastest man for 9 years. How you doing? What do you do? You're 42 years old and you ran a 4.5.
That's
I
crazy.
think he went, or you went 4.4. I think he went 4.5 at 50 or something like that. You know.
That's crazy.
So his last year, I was on the staff and we coached his last year, right? How we were playing Dallas the last game of the season and we used to play catch before every game. I warm him up by throwing the ball to him down the field. And so he's running fades, like he's going. Like he hit the NOS button and he downshifted. He's out of here. He's out of here. And we're playing Dallas, and so I think Aaron Glenn, Dallas had these real fast receivers. And I remember watching pregame. Some guys came up and they're like, Mr. Green, can we please race you? It would be an honor for us to race you. And I was looking like, He was like, nah, man, I'm not into that. He was like, can we please race you? Just be an honor for us to just race you and get on film. I was like, no. And I think a lesser person would have took it like, oh, you trying to challenge me? Like, oh, for real?
Yeah.
You want to see if you got this? And some young chumps might have been like, oh, see, he's scared. He didn't want to smoke. But girl was so, no. So then what they start doing is they start running. So when we were playing catch, they'd run next to him. You know what I mean? Like they act like they're warming up. And they'd run kind of like over here, but I'm playing catch with them down here.
Yeah, trying to be
And they're trying to run and see. So he did like this to me one time, and I could throw it about 65, 70, you know, and so he was like...
Yeah, because you play baseball.
Like,
Yeah,
so
I'm like, what? Damn,
yeah,
man.
he was like... So he was down there about 30, he downshifted, hit that button, and I let it fly, and then you just seen him, but they... Like, whoa, what was that? You know, the guy's running, and they're like, what was that? And he's, after he caught it, he was like, you know, and then the guys kind of just...
Yeah.
And they stopped.
I ain't got that gear.
Yeah, we don't have that. But how in the world are you doing this at 40 years old, man? 42 years old. What are you doing?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. What keeps you in it? Like at that point, what keeps you in coaching at this point? Like,
I like to compete, man.
Yeah.
I like to compete.
Like,
I like to compete. I would. I'm not gonna put this in the universe, but and God says it's part of life and death in the tongue. Life would be real tough if I couldn't compete. Like it would be really tough. Like I like competing. I
like Jordan.
Man, I was chess, not checkers, man. Like
Yeah.
I work on beating me.
Okay, yeah. You always can compare.
Yeah, I'm drawing plays. Like what's gonna get me fits on defense. I'm thinking of stuff.
Okay, yeah.
So it's like me versus me. So I stay mad. You know, I stay in conflict. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you know your weakness. Like
Yeah, so if I whoop me, I'm mad because I got whooped. And then if
Or
I
you
don't
weren't.
whoop me, then I wasn't going hard enough not to get whooped. So I stay mad. I stay in conflict. I might be in the shower and I'm thinking something and bam. You know, when it'll get foggy, I'm drawing a play up and I joke you not. I'll draw a play. Or I keep a piece of paper. I keep a piece of paper by my toothbrush and everything, and I might think of something. I get out of the shower. I might brush my teeth and stop.
Still at this point,
Still at
it's
this
stuff coming to you. Damn, man. I think I would have thought that you at this point would just have seen everything come by your mind.
I've seen a lot, but I haven't seen everything. And there's guys that see more than me, so I might call them. Hey, what do you think about me doing this? You know. So you want to add to the game, right? You know,
Yeah.
I want to help make the game better. It doesn't stay the same.
Yeah,
And
no.
I'm definitely not gonna poof. I'm not gonna make it worse.
But it's the thing, like with the way it is now, with everybody just shuffling around, there's no continuity. Like I just feel like the schemes. Even when I watch the NFL now, I feel like the players, they don't seem like they're really primed for like a wide variety of football. I feel like it's like not that much. Like, to me, it just seems a lot more dumbed down. Like they're not the guys themselves are doing pretty much just everybody's playing the same thing. You look at college like years ago. I feel like Oregon years ago was like everybody's playing like Oregon years ago.
Yeah. Cutting edge, Oregon, cutting edge. They brought some things to the table, but it's the figure eight, right? It's the never ending
Infinity.
Yeah, the infinity. So it all comes back. So years ago, the scrambling quarterback was a guy by the name of Fran Tarkenton.
Yeah, for the Vikings. Yeah.
He was cold.
Yeah.
Fran was running around doing this stuff back in the day, right?
Yeah.
Then here comes Randall.
Yeah.
You know, right?
Yeah, Randall
He
was
was
that guy.
Cunningham. He was Vic, right? So that guy has existed.
Yeah.
You know, run and shoot was West. You know, West Coast. You know, offense, Bill Walsh, West Coast. Also, he put a little stuff in there. So all of a sudden, it's Houston, and so
Yeah.
Buddy Rhymes. You know what I'm saying? So you got Bum Phillips. You know, joint, and then you got this, and put a little mix in this, and RPO. What is RPO? RPO is just fucking shoot. Like,
Yeah.
This is what Houston was doing with Andre Ware.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's like
So if you stay around Dick LeBeau, coordinator, it's like probably 80 now, when he was with the Patriots and they played the Rams. I remember watching the game. It was a low-scoring game when the Rams played the Patriots. It was a low-scoring game. I thought it was a great defensive game. I'm
the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm watching LeBeau just go to work. And he's hitting McVay with stuff that he hadn't seen. That dude's 80, man. So you know what kind of defense he done seen?
Yeah. All of it, everything.
Yeah, he didn't pulling stuff off from beta. He pulling stuff off from reel to reel. Like, let me hit you with this. I haven't seen that. I haven't studied that. Nobody understands that. So it just all goes in cycles, right? You get crazy athletic linemen. So what do you got to do? Offensive linemen. So you got to do what? You got to go get crazy athletic D linemen. So I can't be 330 in
Yeah.
the trenches. Maybe I get a little smaller now. I'm 320 or I'm 290, and I'm moving. I can't be 6'7" no more, man. I got to be a little more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Tight ends are off the ball and they're moving. So the basketball playing tight end, Algie Crumpler,
Gates.
yeah, Antonio Gates. Oh my gosh,
Franks.
Bubba Franks.
Yeah.
Miami, the U had Shockley,
Yeah.
right, and Winslow, right? You know, so that experiment went through. You know, we had Walter Rasmussen, we had Raz, and I forgot how that tight end at the time. You know, very athletic cats, and then all of a sudden they started getting the oversized X receivers, right? And then there was the H back, who's a hybrid tight end / fullback on the move. So my personnel changes. My linebackers can't be thick in the neck anymore. Maybe they could be a little lighter because they got to be able to run with this guy in the backfield.
Yeah.
So it's this cat and mouse, right?
But like I feel like 30 years ago, or maybe even 20 years ago, not that many teams would line up inside the 5 and be in gun. You know, now I feel like everybody is like that. Now, like, everybody looks like Oregon to me. It's like it seems like
except for the ones that get loose, like the ones that get with it and are physical.
Oh yeah.
Right, so there's select few.
I mean, I do think somebody is always carrying the essence.
Right.
Of like just having all the looks you can have.
Right. So but I got a plan for that. So if I give you this look once or twice, you do have to rep that in practice.
Yeah.
Hey man, well, we could get it, so we got to spend some time on it.
Yeah.
But then knuckling up at the end of the day, the teams that can tote the tater, the teams that can tote it are the teams that make it happen, right? Because it's physical. Running the football hurts, man.
Yeah.
Stopping the run hurts.
Yeah. For a whole game.
Yeah, it hurts.
Yeah.
So if I'm in 70 snaps and 35, 40, you toting it 20 or 30, you toting it.
You got deep backfield.
Man, toting it. I mean, all ISO 10 times. Whoa, timeout, right? Dudes might not be built for that. So is it schematics? Is it easy to teach, plug and play because of the vast majority and the variety of the players and the free agency? You can get a guy and this and that.
They don't need to learn as much, I feel like.
Yeah, it's concepts, and but the guys that learn it, and the guys that understand,
the elite gonna be elite, right?
Yeah, well, and you can work to be an elite by honing your craft, like crafting.
Yeah.
The smartest guy in the room, always, the best guy in the room, and always the fastest guy in the room. But if I know where to be, and I understand formations, I understand the nuances, right? I know why.
Yeah. The little stuff makes makes all the difference.
I say all the time, attention to the small things have the greatest impact in your life. So how detail oriented are you?
Yeah.
Are you picking up stuff pre-snap, like guys' fingers will when they stop? Ball's out on 1 count. Gotcha. I'm out of here. Finger stop, that was 1. I'm out of here.
Yeah, that's like you were saying last week. Like the amount of film that you put in, like people can't even. How many hours a week is it? Because you're coaching other sports too.
Yeah, I coach track now. Yeah.
But I mean, like, how many hours a week is it outside of the whistle, the start practice and end practice for a coach in high school, college, the pros?
All depends. High school. I mean, I think all of it depends on what the goal is, right? What the goal is for the organization, right? Are you trying to be elite? Are you trying to be the trendsetter? Are you trying to step on next? Are you trying to, raise the bar? Then you got to work. It doesn't mean you work like savagely and like with no sense. But I know that I would. In college, Coach Spurrier was not a grinder.
Spurrier wasn't a grinder?
No, he's not going to make you stay till 10 o'clock at night. Get your work done. Get home, see your family, eat dinner, but you better be on point. So when you come to the meeting and you got some stuff, you better be on point. If your position's not doing right, he's going to ask you, hey, what's up? Taylor, what are we doing right here? What's the problem?
Yeah.
Oh, that don't look right. Maybe get that fixed. Yes, sir. You don't want that heat, man. I don't want that smoke. I'm on it.
It's all about accountability.
I'm on it. And there's some guys who would grind, like you're not leaving until 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock at night. I know there's been times I got home at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning because I'm working, man. I don't. Hey, I leave in the morning. I would kiss my kids and kiss everybody goodbye, and I come home and I kiss them on the forehead, and they all be sleeping. That would suck.
Yeah.
But there's times I'm getting home at 1:30 in the morning. There's times I'm getting home at midnight. There's times I'm getting home at 9. There was a run in 2018. I don't think sounds crazy. Sounds kind of fanatical, but we had a run in 2018. We won the CF championship, and I was so locked in that I didn't sleep for like literally I didn't sleep for 2.5 days. Like I was up for 2.5 days. Just film, practice plans, get to work, and all of a sudden I'm working. All of a sudden I look at the clock, man, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, man. I gotta get up in an hour. It doesn't make sense for me to go to bed. You get up at 5:30, so I'm just going to shower and get ready. And I come to work and I practice, and I'm hearing the film. You see something, and boom, you just get in the zone. And like 2.5 days went by. I'm like, yo, I haven't been to bed.
What do you think? Because there's probably not that many guys like that no more, huh?
I don't know, man. I think
You just
there's some
living
we
your
talk.
life,
Yeah, I'm just, I don't tell you, man. How
Like
much
young
you see.
guys? Do you think young guys?
I don't think.
See, that's what I
I
mean.
don't think there's young guys like that because they might say, man, that's too much work. You can do that simpler.
Just use AI or something?
Yeah, well, just video and this and that. Man, no, I got to see this. I got to put my hands. I got to write on. I don't need no analytics. I'm going to plug it in the computer. I'm going to pull it off. I need to see some stuff because there's stuff that you can see without, and it's a feel.
Yeah, I mean,
right. Okay.
Human touch.
I get the tempo. I get the thought process of what's happening. So you just get locked in, man. Right now I don't go to bed till probably like 2 or 8. I don't lay my head down to about 2 in the morning now.
damn.
I get home and just work. I'm thinking on something. I got a little side office. I might slap on some old tape and look at something about this. Hey, I'm trying to hack this. Okay, what about if we do this? Recruiting, you got your college guys. You're trying to help your kids get to school. They're working. You start, answering emails or text messages, and then have conversation with your buddies and my family, kids, and my mom, sisters, and stuff, and by the time you wind down, it's like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm up at 5:30, so the alarm goes off at 5:30, so I'll get a couple hours sleep, and then
right back at it.
Yeah, and then maybe that's years of being in college and the league, and then Saturday night will be a good night. We fly out Saturday, so Saturday will be my rest. Like I get to the hotel, boom, I go to the room, sleep till it's time for dinner and our meeting. Boom, I go back to the room, sleep. And then you're away, and it's like, you can.
Kind of
some
recharge.
of my best rest. It sounds crazy, but some of my best rest is on the plane. Like I'm flying.
That's crazy.
You knock out on the plane, you get your power. I don't know, man, but
you had your routine, man. I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
I love it, man. I can do this. I love this.
You built for it. Yeah.
I like to say we build different. Like we own. Like turn. I'm doing it.
So what do you think is the future of football, man? Like as far as like, I don't know, like as far as concussions and stuff like that. Do you think things are going the way of flag or what? Like, because I think it's like things are definitely not as. It's a lot more soft.
It's not as violent as it used to be, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's good. I've had some teammates. I had. So there's 3 or 4 guys I played with in college that I've lost to. Some head. The assumption and the figuring is head injuries, right?
Yeah.
I think football. You don't leave. You're not supposed to leave with your head. So there's active rules against that, right? So that's a safety deal. So people think that, it's such a violent sport. There's violent collisions, but there's no intent to, like putting guys to sleep by sparing with your head. That's a no-no, right?
It's always been wrong since I was even.
Right, when you start playing, but years ago, you leave with the crown, you're leaving your feet. Spearing dudes like, so there's some residual effect from that. Fire, you might run and try to get stick marks. Guys used to be, man, well, look at your stick marks. Man, look, you knocked the paint off. You look at face mask, man.
Remember, I got a whole streak from last.
You popping, man. It's probably not the best, man.
That's gonna catch up with you.
Right? Have I been? I probably played knocked out. I probably played concussed. I know I have. I know I have.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely had a couple. Yeah.
But I think that the safety of the sport, they're trying to, I mean, guys don't want to get hurt either. I mean, this is their body. And so the quality of life after, guys think about that. And you start seeing guys, man, you don't remember this, short-term memory.
Yeah.
So I think some rules in play. Yeah.
You see Antonio Brown, he was talking about, because they were like, man, what happened? He was like, man, after he had a mean hit, he was like, I kind of lost it. Like, after that, like, mentally, he said, like, that's when his behavior really started going crazy. I don't know, but, he was saying that.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a very, very thin line to walk on. I know that I've been concussed, and it wasn't the smartest thing to do was continue playing.
Yeah.
But the dog, right? The competitor, like, nah, man, I work too hard to get these little reps.
Yeah.
And I'm up in here, and if I die, then I die.
Yeah, at least I'm doing what I love.
Yeah, but what's happening? I'm not coming out. You straight? Yeah, man. I might solve for you. I'm good, dog. I'm not. Yeah. So it takes somebody. Let me really see. Before it used to be grade 1, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3 concussions. This is well before your time, but you get a grade 1 concussion, you keep playing. Grade 2, that's what grade 3, he's really going to do snoring, you're out. You're not,
yeah, you might not come back.
Yeah, you're not coming back. So it used to be that. Now the protocol's in place, and I think that's good.
Yeah.
I think it's going to go off full circle. It gets some ways, and you want to keep guys safe, and you need to score points and make the game enjoyable. Yeah. So there's a side of it that I don't get involved with as a coach or a player, and then you have the unions, and they talk about some stuff. So at the end of the day, nobody's out trying to maim.
No.
Guys, and you want to be safe. You want to have a quality of life after. So I think football. I think they're gonna hone it in my personal opinion, they're gonna hone it in, and they're gonna bring it back around where it's competitive, it's physical, it's violent, but it's not. Don't go deadly. Where man, you're out of here, man, and
Yeah, no.
You got this.
When you do it right, I feel like you're protected.
Yeah, right. Yeah. When you tackle the way you're supposed to tackle, you're okay. And I think people need to go back to the basics of big hits don't mean good tackles.
Yeah. And
so the media really shines on the big hits, the big collisions. Boom! Wow! Look at he blew that dude a man back. He lay with his head. Yeah, that's not what we want. But the Cam Champs of the world that are coming and booming and they're getting that shoulder in and you're getting both the center of gravity or they're popping them in the chest, without the head. You need to show good tackles.
Yeah. And
a good tackle will produce a big hit. Big hit don't produce a good tackle.
Yeah, I think those are really humbling too. When you really get somebody wrap and drive their hips, like I think that's man, you get put down like that.
Watch Ray. I mean, I remember we played Baltimore in the preseason and Marvin was on the head seat. So watch this. I think he played 5 plays. Preseason, he 5 plays, and that joke was flying, wop, wop, wop. He was popping folks. I'm like, golly. Yeah. And, he's not 6'3", 6'4".
Yeah, I know, right? No.
Right, he's running through people's souls, man. He's running and hitting them. I'm like, good Lord. Like, that's what he's doing there. He's on that. Yeah, LeVar the same way. Watching LeVar Arrington play. And,
him.
Like, I don't care. Why are you hitting these people like this? And he was like, look, man.
100% or nothing.
Yes. Like, dude, why are you? I said, why you hit that man like that? I love him, man. He was like, you ever seen a what do you tell me? You ever seen a lion or a cheetah? What I forgot the cat. He said, have you ever seen when they go get their prey? He goes, they pounce on them. So when you watch him play, he was pouncing on Joker, like, pow! He just going for him.
No, he was.
And I don't remember him being out in the 2 years I was with him. I don't remember him being out for any head injuries, nor do I remember Antonio Pierce being out.
I felt like he was pretty silky too.
Oh, Antonio was pretty silky. He was so smart.
Yeah.
Like he was extremely smart, knew everything on the field, was great on special teams as well. So he knew everything, knew where guys had to be, and man, he was at the spot and he was blowing dudes up and hitting them all in the chest cavity and. He was blasting dudes, right? And it was tough, man. He was tough.
I think the good thing, though, about flag, though, is it's supposed to be in the Olympics.
That's what I'm hearing. Yeah, I was talking to a buddy of mine the other day. He said the flag. He said they're bringing. Matter of fact, I was talking to Sammy Parker, who played a long time. Played at KC, and so his daughter is playing flag football. And we're talking, And he's coaching in Northern Alabama now. We were talking about his daughter's playing flag. He sent me some clips. I'm like, man, they out there running plays and bossing people and running 7 cuts and
Yeah, man.
you know. So I mean, it's good. You know,
You
it's
get the world involved that way.
Yeah, that's huge. That's
Because
huge.
some people in them other countries don't have access to the equipment, or they don't want to get their kids involved with that.
Right.
I think it'd be great though if we get the world doing flag, because then I could play.
Yeah. You back to quarterback, swivel head, let it draw, you know, doing the 9 route, you know. Yeah, amen.
I'm in the Olympics, guys.
Right. Yeah, but you know, it's good. And I think I didn't have a chance to play flag. I mean, I didn't play flag. My kids didn't play flag.
Yeah, gym class.
Yeah, they went right to the action, you know.
Yeah.
But teaching it the right way, and you know, you gotta just kind of work them into it. You know, flag to low collision, to high collision, and you know, knee bending and not reaching, and you know, it's good. It's good. I think it's good for the evolution of the sport. You know.
Yeah. So like, all right, when it comes to like people taking football on, man, do you think kids even know, like, if they knew what it would take to go to the levels that they say they want to go to, do you think a lot of them would even? I guess they can't even fathom though what they
No, you
need.
got to put them in situations like everybody. You know what is it? What's the adage? Everybody wants to be a beast until it's time to do what beasts do. Like everybody wants to be a beast until it's time to do what beasts do. And I think Eric Thomas broke it down. It's like, do you understand what a beast does? Like a beast is hunting. He's biting through flesh. Like when it's hunters hunt, beast hunts.
Yeah.
And there's nothing pretty about hunting. There's nothing pretty about when a beast is a beast. There's nothing pretty about it.
Yeah.
And I think the adage, they're in love with the concept.
Yeah.
Playing pro because they play. A lot of people want to play to live because what do you see?
Buy your own house.
You know, jewelry and buy mama a house and get a car and you know and then when we talks about putting it away or you know what it looks like, right? But the countless hours and the sacrifices that have to be made. Biblical reference, you know. If you try to type in the word compromise in the Bible search, in the word search about it, you're not going to find it. But if you type in sacrifice, you can find over 300 sometimes. Compromising, you little tit for tat. I'll do this, you do this for me. You know, this thing requires some sacrifice.
Yeah.
So you're going to give up the parties. You're going to give up the dating sometimes. I'm not saying that you just go become a monk or something, but you're going to give up certain things that aren't conducive to getting to the end result, right? And so when you can get other people to understand that, and then there's going to be some times that you're digging in your soul and just questioning, do I want to do this? Like, is it worth it, man? Like this is for the birds, man. You know, it might be when you're running, it might be conditioning,
Yeah.
it might be underneath that weight, it might be when you got hit by somebody you never been hit like that before. I remember when we were in college, it used to be summer bridge. So the freshmen would come in for a little while, and then the seniors, the older heads, would come in 3 days later, right? So you'd go against yourself like freshman camp, kind of get a picking. And the old heads would come in, and it would be a baptism by fire. You know, you're going through it. And I remember I was handling my business in my class, myself, roommates, Lamar Hollenquist and Stephon. We're handling our stuff, Stephon Pace. And we're handling our stuff in camp. We're doing well. Freshmen, picking off our quarterback. We're handling our business. And then the old heads came in, and there was a guy named Tom Brown. He was a walk-on. He wore like 87 or 84, something crazy. He had high socks, long socks, like no disc, but he wasn't looking sweet in the uni. You know what I mean? Like
wasn't looking sweet in the uni.
He was toasting me. Like he was killing me. And I'm like, I done pull out every trick in the book. I got the older guy saying, man, like we recruited you, like you supposed to be some Tom Brown is toasting you. DB coach is on my neck, like I question my worth. Like,
it be like that though, man.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh. So I made up in my mind that I was gonna cry. Like I was like, I'm not showering after practice. Like I
don't deserve that shot.
Like, I'm going to my room. I'm gonna call my high school coach. I'm gonna call my dad. And I'm gonna pull out my VHS. I'm gonna watch my film. Like I get this figured out.
Yeah.
Practice over. I jump on the bike, pull my hightail to the dorm. I'm putting the key in the door. Tears are welling up in my eyes. As soon as the door opens, I'm gonna let it go. You know, I just can't let nobody let me see. I'm gonna let it go, and I open the door. My roommate there crying too. He bawling too. So I'm on the other side. He can't see me, so we have a little conversation. At the end of it, I'm like, "Thank you, Jesus." Like I'm not the only one. So I start checking with my other classmates, my same class, and they all going through it. You know, it was really like, can I play here? You know, so hold on, getting me. And I'm no diss to the walk-on, but I'm like, come on, man, like, golly. And it wasn't until I understood everybody has to go through that process that I began to grow. Then I made a play the next day. I made one play. Okay. Then I started I'm strapping Tom as a kid. So I started strapping Tom around. Now I get to go to the red shirt now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I live here and I go to the red shirt freshman. Then pretty soon I got back in the mix and I'm going against the guys that are playing on Saturday. But I had to go through it. Everybody goes through it. And that's the only time you'll get growth. Right?
Yeah.
When you
humble up.
Yeah, you fuck, man, there's some more I need to do. Let me get back to crafting. I can't rest on my laurels. Like, I got to perpetually get better. And either I will or I won't.
Yeah.
If I don't, I really don't want it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, my high school coaches always say, like, you either getting better or you're getting worse, man. You never stay the same.
Correct.
You know? And
I agree.
And that's like, I feel like to play at that level, you really, you know, everybody's working to take that spot. So it's like any little thing you have to constantly progress, or like any slip is like it could be your last day.
Man, like dudes, like guys are getting drafted. Like there's draft picks. They're ballers.
I mean, SC is like basically the 30. Or I don't know how many teams in the NFL then, but it's like the other. It's like the other NFL team that they just went to a feeder league, a feeder team.
Time, Trademan was at UCLA. Ken Norton Jr. was over there. Drew Bledsoe was at Washington State.
Pac-10 was crazy.
Osborne was at Oregon. Troy Taylor was at Cal. McCaffrey's dad was at Stanford. Touchdown Tony Brown. Everybody had dudes, man. Everybody. Deion was at Florida State. Michael Irvin was at Miami. Like, they had cats. Everybody had dudes. Rozier was at Penn State. Like, people had people. Rocket Ismail was at Notre Dame. Eric Bieniemy and Darian Hagan were at Colorado. Like, they were nice. Everybody.
Yeah.
Nebraska. Steve Taylor, Bosworth was at Oklahoma with Jamel Holloway. Like, they were loaded. So everybody was good, man. You talk previous years, see draft picks, Edmund, Dennis Brown at Washington, Napoleon Kaufman, Mark Brunell. Like, the pack was crazy talented, like crazy. And so each week you're seeing draft picks. And the step off was just, he got in first.
That's it.
He got in first. Like, he got in first. That way. Yeah, he got in first, and then when he slips, okay, this guy goes in. We played Oklahoma in '88. Jamel Holloway was the quarterback, and Charles Thompson was behind him. Charles Thompson was ridiculous. So I remember, like, praying, like, please don't let Charles get in the game. I remember that joker was running that wishbone like there was nobody's business. Like, he in the corner, it could be a problem. Like, wow. And Jamel was darn good. You know what I'm saying? Like, national champion Oklahoma Sooners, Barry Switzer. Like,
they were crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, shoot. Charles was Jamel got hurt. I think Jamel hurt his knee or something. Charles got in and took off with it. Like he ran it. You know.
It's like Emmitt Smith came in Florida, right? He was a backup.
Yes. Wes Chandler he wasn't sure. Wes Chandler was a running back. The receiver, he was a running back. Wes was a running back. And then he ended up a receiver. Like, what are we talking about? Javon Curse played safety for a little bit. Like, what are we talking about?
That's great. Urlacher played safety, right?
Yeah, well, he was in the 3D. He was a backer, but he was deep.
Okay, yeah, all right.
But he was that, he was deep. He was 10 yards deep, reading everything. But he was that backer in the 3-5, or the Lobo, they called it. He was the Lobo. But yeah, I mean, you see all that down there.
Freaks, man.
On, man. Like, come on, for real? Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, man. I don't know. I feel like, I think it's a lot of talent now. It's not like it's not talent, but I just feel like guys it's just like it's just different.
Yeah, I think guys are more Ferraris and high-end cars. You know, they go, but when it hurt, like, it's different.
Yeah. Where
I don't think maybe we just weren't equipped to understand, like, we could be hurt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So being hurt was really like an option. There was more Chevys, you know, Fords, you know, back then could go.
Yeah.
But, you know, like LT, like, he had to darn near be dead.
To stop.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like football, man, you don't stop till like, oh, my leg does not work anymore.
Yeah, like, you know, I've seen dudes like put stuff in place. You know what I mean? Like if you watch Junior, is that last year he played like a year and a half, right? He played with a cast on his finger. He had broke his finger.
At the end of his career, or
no, in college,
at
LSC. He went Salanisi, his cousin, that passed away at Colorado, and so he dedicated that season himself. So June had he broke his hand in practice, broke his finger in practice, cast it like that. Played with a cast. He didn't wear any socks. He just wore tape. He spray painted the tape black. Spray painted his cleats black. He didn't wear socks. He spray painted the tape.
That's insane.
His wristbands, I mean the tape, he spray painted that black. He had a towel that said Sal on it. He spray painted, it was stencils, he spray painted Sal. I remember playing UCLA and he had separated his shoulder. And I'm playing the back of it, and the tight end was Charles Arbuckle. And Junior was talking to himself, like, come on, Junior, you gotta make a play. Like, Junior, you gotta make a play, Junior. Come on, Junior. He talking to himself. And I'm like, oh, man, you're in trouble, Arbuckle. Like, I'm like, you're in trouble. He playing when he had separated his shoulder. Like, his shoulder's messed up. And he's sacking the quarterback. He's making plays, and his shoulders out of, I mean, so in my mind, I don't have nothing wrong with me.
Yeah.
This dude that broke his finger, he was compounded, got back in, it was casted. You know, he carrying some weight. You know, his cousin that passed away. Like, he playing with some stuff on his mind, you know?
Yeah.
Shoulders out of place. Not joking, playing with his shoulder out of place. Who am I to, man, my hand and got hurt, it's swollen up a little bit. Man, nah. Like, I'm not, I'm not.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, nah. Junior out there giving it, I got to get with it too. Like, you know.
Yeah, no.
I'm not hurt.
Yeah,
man. Not calling me out, Jack. What's wrong with you? Nothing. Nothing at all. Nothing. You know. It's like the kid I showed you, Alex. You know, like when he made his mind up.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Then nothing when he was willing to do whatever it took to get back on the field after amputating his leg. Like who? Like at 17, man. Like.
What's the name of the special?
It's Alex Ruiz, The Brotherhood.
Alex Ruiz, the
Yeah,
Brotherhood.
you look up The Brotherhood. It was on ESPN. I mean, I don't know how you cannot be motivated watching. I don't know how you cannot pull on your heart. I don't know how you cannot talk to you. I don't know how you cannot sit there and look at this kid was doing this at 17.
That's crazy, man. I can't think about cutting my leg off at 17, man. But and that's
and then make it happen. Like whatever it takes for me to get back on the field. He was motivating me because you know what happened. I'm gonna watch, so it still messes with me.
Yeah, I bet.
We're tight. He's like my son, and then
you were there.
All the time. Yeah, we talk all the time. But what? Be off. Be tired. That's a living. That's a live thought. You know what I mean? That's an ongoing memory that I have. I saw that. I saw him come back. You know, he's standing there through the crutch down, was throwing the ball one day, was kind of had to get it out. And I'm like, hey man, you might want to put your credit. He just looked at me. I was like, you got, you know, like okay, just you fall. You need me to stand there? He's like, no. You don't want like throwing out routes. You know, and so how can I be tired?
Yeah.
How can I not want to do something? And I got all my faculties. This dude will never, ever know what it's like to wiggle his toes.
Yeah.
Never let the sand run through his feet. You know, like feet in the sand and let the water run through. He may not ever be able to stand up in the shower again. You know what I mean? All pending. The things we take for granted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
17? Man, what are we talking about?
Yes, man. Yeah, no, it's like it's impossible, man. Like I've heard people say too. You either got whether it's a good excuse or a bad excuse, it's still an excuse.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. I mean, make that decision and do those things. It's crazy, you know. So my hat's off. So the motivation comes from not. I look around, right? You know what I mean? I look around and draw motivation from people you don't even think, you know. Because there's days, everybody has their high days and their low days. And there's days you're low and like, man, all I do is, I got a picture of Alex, you see my phone, that's great. There's a picture of Alex on my phone, sitting there holding the ball. Okay, you feeling sorry for yourself? What about my man?
Yeah.
Okay, tighten up. You know what I mean? Tighten up.
Yeah.
Tighten up.
Yeah, no, like it's, I got my reason. Like, I don't know, I had a cousin that he got murdered or whatever, and I always I kind of like go back to be like, man, I'm just, he would love to just draw breath right now. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
And it's crazy, like, yeah, like how, yeah, we take stuff for granted, and then you forget. I be really forgetting sometimes. Oh, I'm like, damn, hold on, chill, because I'm glad I'm still here, though.
Right.
It could be.
Right, it could be a different ball of wax.
Yeah.
You don't want that, So you got to live every day because you don't know, right? You know what I mean? And, and loss teaches you a lot of lessons,
Yeah, for sure.
And we're all going to get them. We're all going to take some losses. We're going to have some L's in life,
Yeah.
You just got to minimize them if you can,
Yeah, and that's like, it's like it's never done. Because, I always look at it like, man, I've been through some things, but it's like there's still so much more, though, like, still left, like, to go through, I still got to go through. It's like kind of no way out. Like, everybody is going to pass on, or you going to pass on. Like, you have to go through, everybody has to go through that door. So, it's like, it's,
So I tell our team, you have a start date and an ending date. And in the middle, there's that dash, right?
Yeah.
The dash is the same size for everybody. I ain't never seen a dash that be this long on a headstone.
No.
The dash is the same size.
Yeah.
So what do you put in that dash? So I got to put as much in that dash as possible because there is an end date. There is an expiration date. So in that dash, I got to load that dash up with everything. I got to leave a mark in concrete, man, that acid can't get out. Right? Like that's just the drive. Like I want to leave a mark in concrete, man. Like acid can't get it out. It's going to take you have to bust up the concrete and bust up the thumbprint and define pieces so you can't even get the remnant. Right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you put that thumb in there, it's in there. So I got to leave that impression, whatever it is I do. So, because that dash is the dash, man, and you can just live the dash or you can fill the dash up,
Yeah.
What is your legacy going to be? So, that's the motivating factor. And then, I lost my father in COVID, the COVID year.
Oh, man.
And he was, my best friend. So, it was not a day that don't go by and I didn't talk to him. And he every day. So when we left California and I took the job in Florida, I talked to him every single day on the phone. And then he would come out when the boys got older. He would come out for football season. I spend time and even coach on the little teams or whatever. And so that was like part of my life until I'm 51 years old. And so now I call my mom every day and talk to her, but I just still hear him like, keep pushing that dash. What he put in that dash, and I'm constantly reminded what he put in that dash when I run into somebody that knew him or talks about him or in our community, and like, your dad was. So that I can only hope to have in the dash what he had in the dash. I can only hope to do that. So that's the motivator. No days off. You rest. And you meet your maker, man.
Yeah.
You rest in. Be eternal rest and you'll be good.
Yeah. That's so. Would you say that's the lowest point in the whole process? I don't know. I guess I always dread that, man. My parents dying, man. I wanted.
Yeah, that hit. And that hit. Yeah, that hit. That hit hard. And I don't know if anybody ever heals. They say time heals all wounds. I don't know if that is true, because I'm always going to miss him. I'm always going to hurt. There's always going to be something that reminds me of him. What I've learned from is the value. Like I would just like to hear, him say, he used to call me Sean Dog, and I would like to, hey Sean Dog, just to hear that one time. And so I went one time to hear his voice. Like I thought I might have had a message saved on my phone. Because I wanted to hear his voice, and I had erased it. I had erased the messages.
Yeah.
And so I don't have his voice. And so I you know, some old videos, like we celebrated his birthday, so I heard him, you know, talk, and then some old film with the kids. So I heard his voice. My sister sent me something that had his voice. But now, like when mother leaves me a message, I say, I have not erased any of her messages. You know,
Yeah.
she's getting older, so I hear her voice, and I gotta have a remnant of it. So that was a low, man, that was a low point. You know, it happened at 50. You know, it was low. It's only because, you know, I was my dude. You know, I was able to talk to him, and I'm a man. I got a family. I got bills and this and that, but I still needed.
It's still your father, bro.
Yeah, I needed. You know, I'd call and run something by him, or hey, pops, you know, I'm thinking this, or I'm feeling like that. You know, I could be myself, like share myself with him as a man to somebody that had been my age, and I'm a seed of his, and I carry his last name, so he can relate, and not having that anymore. It's like, yeah, that's an adjustment. I don't know if anybody ever gets to. And somebody told me grief is like standing in the ocean. Like sometimes the waves hit you around the legs and you're good handling it. Sometimes they come and, you know, knock you down, hit you upside the head, and turn you, you know, topsy turvy. But you gotta accept it and learn to let all the emotions fly. You know, so I learned the importance of being able to cry.
Yeah. You can't even want to hold on to them tears. I mean.
Yeah, you know, it's okay. You know, Jesus wept when he lost Lazarus, so it took me a long time to understand that it's okay to cry.
Yeah.
And like, it's okay to mourn, and there's no time frame on mourning. You can't tell me when I'm stopped mourning. I can't soak in it because my father wouldn't want me to.
Yeah, he don't want that for you.
So I gotta thug it out if you will. You know, I gotta go get it.
Yeah.
But there's days. There's days now. He's been gone for 4 years now, and you know, it doesn't get easier. But I understand the lessons that he was teaching me, and I see clearly. This is why. Thanks. So I'm learning to say thank you, Dad, more than why'd you go. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah. I'm learning to say thank you more.
You know, it really isn't. There's no like manual for grief.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess that's pretty. I mean, losing a father, losing your mother, or whatever. That's gonna. I don't know. I don't know what could be. I mean, other than, you know, it's plenty of people. And losing in general is wrong.
Right. I mean, losing a child.
Yeah, losing a child. I was gonna say it's up there. I didn't want to speak that one out.
Yeah. I mean, but you know, there's people that lost babies, and man, I wouldn't wish that upon. You know, that not lost. Period. You know, even today we're talking. I found out a coaching friend of mine. I mean, just somebody sent me a text. You know, so and so. I'm like, what? I just on Facebook. I just talked to him last week.
Yeah.
You know, like, he's not too far, like 10 minutes up the road. Like, what? No, good dude, you know. And then I think, you know, separation, you know, like in a relationship, like those can be low points, you know, when you have certain ideas. We all have ideals and goals and visions for our lives, right? You know, I think we look at it as our parents and those in our lives as superheroes, like
yeah,
they're immortal. I like
they're almost not people or something.
Yeah, you don't think about your parents dying. You think about your football coach dying. You know, it's Coach Cocker, it's Coach Bard. Yeah, they don't die. You know, that's Coach Cocker.
Yeah.
It's tough. That's Coach Bard. He's tough. You know, yeah. It's my dad. They're gonna be around forever. You know, my mom. You know, that or you know, you have a family, and then you go through loss, or you go through separation, or go through divorce. I mean, there's. Now, you know, those are low points, but my dad was low. You know, it was tough. It was tough.
Would you say like having children is the high point in life? Like,
most definitely. Holding them in your arms and just watching, look at this life that's been created. See the semblance of you, the resemblance of yourself, mannerisms when they begin to talk and articulate, and you just start seeing yourself. And then it just heightens your purpose, right? And sometimes it reignites your purpose.
So, would you, as far as having children, what do you tell them as far as having children? Because I know it's like the world's kind of crazy, man. I don't know. Like, what do you think? Like,
well, I mean, you know, I don't know what the future holds. I know what I believe in God, and I know what the Bible says, and I, do I believe we're in end times? It's rugged out there. It's rugged.
Yeah, so I want to know, like, what do you
rugged.
think? Based on
However, do not stop living your life, man.
Yeah.
I think my sons and my daughter, I think they'll be great parents. I remember they love family. I watch my sons interact with my nieces and nephews and kids that come around. They love them. Why block that?
Yeah.
Right. Give. Yeah. And once you're ready, then go ahead. But don't do it just out of what's cool. I got a baby. I got a baby daddy. I got a baby mama. That's what's happening now in our generation. Everybody's not valuing they don't value relationship anymore, and bringing a child in this world as a union. It's like, I got a baby, like a possession.
Yeah.
I got a baby.
Sounds like a Gucci bag.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a baby. I got a baby boy. I got a baby girl. Nah, there's more to it than that. So when you're ready, go. And I'll support you. But just make sure your ducks are in a row. We ever have enough money? I don't know. I don't know if you ever have enough money to have a baby. If you sit there, my dad told me, if you wait to have enough money to have a baby, you'll be waiting forever because you don't know.
Yeah.
Right? So when it's right and things are aligned that you can do it, then go at it. But I need $2 million to have a baby. I don't know.
Yeah, but then watch, you might lose. You get in debt $3 million or something.
Right. So you got to make sure you're all right.
Yeah.
If we want to bring another life in the world, because it's not until 18.
It's like you were saying about when we were talking about how you get married and it's like you're not gonna go through a life of marriage and not go through crazy ups and downs and stuff.
Yes.
Like
people aren't married 60 years and never been on the verge of breaking up.
Yeah.
I don't believe that. They've not been married 60 years and never had a fight.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't fight. That's Bull Smith. You didn't have an argument. you didn't have an argument. I believe that. I think that. There's been nights that, you ain't talking. You turn your back on and, there's no way. 60 years, two people, two different backgrounds come together, you make somebody mad. Everybody goes through the fire.
So yeah, I mean, I think, but like it brings you closer. I would think, like you and your children. I think if you just stay honest in it, you go through it, and you go. Because I was listening to Shaq say that he was like talking about how his dad didn't have presents for him. He would be like, "Look, I gotta just get your sister's presents, man. But I'll take care of you later or whatever, some other time in the year or something." And then I think if you just honest and talk to him, and then you go through it, and then you end up just.
Right. Well, it's a testimony. You value it and you don't want to let it go. You don't want to lose it, right? Because you don't get ideally, you're not getting married to get divorced.
No.
You get married to have a union and have a union. Does divorce happen? Yes.
Yeah.
But you don't get married with one, or at least you shouldn't get married with one foot in and one foot out. It don't work and always dip. Nah, you're not. You're probably gonna dip. Like you're not committed to the marriage. You're not. Well, I'm in, man. I'm trying to do this, and whatever comes with it, I'm willing to go through it as long as it's not repetitive. Like, I don't know how much I can take of it. You can't just keep hitting me upside the head. And I'm like, okay, keep hitting me. And you're not even seeing that you hitting me is wrong. Like you start hitting me even harder. Like you getting joy out of it. Hold on now. I'm not doing that.
No.
But okay, you might hit me. I might hit you. It might go whatever.
Yeah.
But listen, this is not the way we need to do it. Let's get back to it and let's get it this way. You're gonna have your challenges. 60 years of marriage,
Yeah.
You're gonna have your challenges.
I mean, and children are for life too. I think and it's tough. I feel like you share a child with somebody. It still makes it for life. Right. No matter what, even if the papers say otherwise, it's like
that's what I was saying earlier. Like, it's not just for 18 years. I got a 24-year-old, 26, 24, and 21.
It's a life sentence.
Yeah, they're still my. I call them every day. They're not with me, so I have a thing on my phone that says text love message to your kids every day. And it says I love you. Hey, how you guys doing? I normally try to do them. Good morning, y'all. If they're not home, like when off season they come home, like the boys have been at the house and they're of age, and I'm oldest of it, he can buy a house. He's more like he's probably gonna buy a house, and be done. He's played a few years, he's done well with his money. My other one is coming out, so, and my daughter's in Houston. So when they're not with me, it's good morning, I love you guys. That's it. Just want them to know I love them, because you never know, right?
Yeah.
And then when they are with me, I might call them, hey, Dad, you blowing us up. Yeah, I'm your dad. I just might want to hear your voice. I just might want to say, hey, Dad, I'm working. I get it, but I just might want to. So you're always going to hear that I love you, because you need to know I love you. But every day like clockwork. And I think it heightened when, my father, the last time I spoke to him on the phone, he had COVID and he had the thing. They're going to put the thing on him, the breathing thing. And so we get off the phone, I heard the nurse rush him a little bit, and I was like, all right, Pops, I love you. And he didn't get a chance to say it back.
Mm.
And I know that he loves me. I know he loves me. Like, no, I know he loved me. I know he was proud of me. But just to hear it,
Yeah.
Just to hear it one more time, So I'm very, very adamant about letting my kids know I love them. They need to hear me say that to them. I might just need to say it, because I know how bad I want to hear it that one last time. What was crazy is I was like, what if this is the last time I talk to him? I remember that thought one of them. I'm like, what if this is the last time I'm able to talk to him? And I didn't hear him say it back. And it's not that he didn't love me, but just he just couldn't say it back.
Yeah.
So that's so I never want to be in that boat.
Yeah. No, you definitely want to end on that note if you have the choice at all.
Yeah.
To participate. Yeah. That's rough, man.
Yes.
Man, that's so. Damn. Sorry, Coach.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it hits you, man. It's hard, but it's real, man. I don't know how to.
Yeah, that's just life stuff that everybody has to go through at some point or another, right? I mean, like, if you know your father at all, or even if you got a foster parent.
Oh, man, yeah, the person showing seeing your life, you got to hey, you got to express that, man. You don't know. You got to express that, that my kids need to know I love them. They might get tired of, I love you, Dad, we know. Okay, well, you're going to keep knowing.
Yeah.
I love you.
Was he in Mississippi or out here?
He was out here. He was in California, Riverside. I was able to see him. It was crazy. It was COVID. It was like some sci-fi movie, but
yeah.
Able to see him, and then I couldn't. I told him 2 weeks later. I just didn't hear his voice. And just to hear that, it's closure, whatever you call it. But that's huge. And I'm not being able to hear, I love you, Pops, and then I love you back, And I know he wanted to, but it was tough for him to breathe and all those things. So I just don't want my kids to ever be, to not hear it. At least have something to cling to in those tough moments, So I had to search back in my old videos and my kids playing tackle football in El Paso with my dad's voice. So I play that, just to hear his voice, But it happens. It teaches you some stuff.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So, what was I gonna say? Would you want to move I feel like in other countries, man, they do stuff all together, man. Like I was living in Egypt, because I was coaching in Egypt for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
They have the grandparents on the first level, because
right.
they can't move up and down the steps.
Right.
Then it'd be the parents and then the kids, and they have like 3 or 4 levels, and then people never leave,
Right.
And then it's like a compound,
Yeah.
And I'll be wondering, do you think, would you like it like that? Would you like you all to be together?
Yeah, my mom's, she's a widow and she's at home and she's in the house we grew up in. I'm like, hey, Mom, you want to come through? She said, no, I need my space. I need my freedom, She still drives. She still gets at it. She's fire.
Yeah.
Call her Mom Dukes, and she's
That's
with the
what's up.
business.
Yeah.
She don't want any handouts. Let me get up. Let me walk. I'll drive myself. No, I got it. No, so
Yeah.
she's like, I don't want to live with you. She's
Yeah.
like, I need my freedom.
Yeah.
I want my bathroom a certain way. I don't want to be picking up. I don't want this in the sink.
Yeah.
So I gotta respect that.
Yeah.
So we
Keeps her going, bro.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Keeps her going. So she's in Riverside. She's 45 minutes away. So we'll, try to get there and see. I talk to her every day.
Oh, that's not bad. Then.
Every day I call every day and talk, and I'll take her to lunch. I'll pick her up. We'll go to lunch. We'll go to dinner. Go see her, pick her up, and go see. We drove to the Bay Area. Thinking the arena team when my son Simeon's playing for the Sugar Skulls and they're playing in the playoffs. So we drove. We drove up there to San Jose. And she was in the car. She was a trooper. She was a ride or die. We drove from Riverside to San Jose.
Damn, that's a
She didn't drive.
man.
She was like, I'll drive. I was like, Ma, no, I got it. My sister and I, and then my oldest son, we drove to San Jose to watch him play, and we went and had dinner, and she's live, She's Mom,
That's what's up.
yeah, so, and that independence, that fire, I see where I get a lot of,
Yeah. From
she's tough, and she loves hard, but she don't tolerate a lot of silly stuff, She's with the business,
Yeah.
So I'm just saying.
So would you coach in the NFL again, or you just like?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, you would. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I would.
I didn't know if like you were just like, man, I just want to mold young minds. And
I think you can touch them all. I move when I think God when He moves me. I'm not searching and actively going and getting. I mean, you got to be appreciative where you're at and don't chase. Every job I've ever gotten, I didn't chase. The jobs I tried to go get, I didn't get them. So I've learned that lesson early. Every job that I got, I didn't chase. Like the body of work stood for itself, and it happened. Like it was seamless. The jobs I really want to try to go get, they didn't work out.
Yeah.
So I'm not here to move on my accord. I move when God tells me, and I mean that. And opportunities come up and they arise, and it's got to fit. It's got to work. It's got to work. But
yeah, I think,
and you can touch lives. There's guys in the league that need. There's a lot of guys that haven't been told no. Right, and so because they're talented and gifted and big and strong and whatever the case is, people clamp onto that, right? And so they never hear no, or do it again, or do it better, or whatever the case is. They don't have real conversations, right? And they don't understand. I shouldn't say they don't understand. I think it's hard to see that your value is based on, and relationships are based on your worth to their life, right? The association, the attachment to you and their life. And so there's a lot of guys that are hurt up there. A lot of guys, that they're human, and they have families, and they have situations. They have loved ones that they lost, and they need to talk. And so my 2 years at the Skins and elsewhere, man, I've established some really good relationships with players that we're still tight to this day. We'd sit down and have real discussions and like, hey, man, like, I don't know if that's the best thing for you to be doing. What you mean? This is not reality, man. This is not real. Like, mess around and have a bad game. See if you get that free dinner next week.
Yeah.
Mess around and be on a trading block and see if.
Somebody will answer their phone like they did
before. Right.
Yeah.
See if you can get the house prime plus, whatever, plus 0.5%. See if you can get that if you cut. So recognize what it is and how you need to move, but hey, don't get enamored with this, because as quick as you're up, you'll be down just on the flick of something. Right? You know what I mean? You just look at it. Look how people deal with and treat athletes in this day and age. Mahomes is great. Mahomes is washed up. He's not the answer. What's wrong with him? There's a point in time Mahomes ain't the answer. Dak is great. Dak is no good. Right?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's
Antonio Brown was supposed to be a Hall of Famer, and now what's wrong with Antonio Brown? Brady. How much talk is there about Brady anymore now?
Yeah, it's on to the next one. It's on to the next one. On to the next one. On to the next one.
Brady's go. He's go. They don't talk anymore. About Brady. It's not Brady talk anymore. So who's
Yeah.
the next? Evan Vick. Kid, he's supposed to be cold, right?
Yeah.
Sean Watson, but just think about it, right? So some of those things aren't realistic, and so it's just like, hey, just having a place where those guys can go to and they grow because they're growing too. You figure I'm 23 with $80 million. Let's say you stayed your 4 or 5 years in college. You come out in the draft, you're 23. And you sign a $100 million contract. So you're 23 with $100 million. You just went to a whole different level. Access to a whole different level of networking and people.
And temptation.
Yeah. 23, man. Who is telling you, hey, don't go over there. I'm talking. You don't need to get that right now. Wait a minute. Whoa.
Yeah, it's why fathers are important. I feel like
Right. Why you need a $10 million watch? Like, why?
Yeah.
Well, why do you need six $30 million cars? Or $70,000 cars? Why do you need 6 of them?
Yeah.
Depreciate. There's nobody really talking to them cats like that. So they go and they make silly decisions. They're human too, man. They're kids.
So like you said, they're young, man.
Right. We've been doing it. You hope to play 3 years or 4 years in a game, right? 3 years in the league, you're considered kind of old, right? 29, 30, 7 years. Whoa. That's 2 contracts.
It's very demanding too, like to the point where like other parts of you might not really develop while you're in that process of trying to be the best football player.
Right. All dependent on your circle. Right?
You might not have like some people will make the time and space to develop develop a relationship with God or whatever else.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Some people they're too distracted, and
Right.
and other areas just do not mature.
Right.
And
Suppressed, right?
Yeah.
It was fun. Just what we doing? Just how we moving? Okay, yeah. Team Jeweler come through and everybody getting a $15,000 bracelet.
Yeah.
Oh, you can get one.
Yeah.
You can get one.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, you're right. You have to get that 15,000.
You gotta touch quick.
Yeah, when am I gonna wear the $15,000 bracelet? Like for real, Or we go to the rookie dinner. I remember being at a few rookie dinners and guys just like sitting at the dinner table like your hands in their head like, how am I gonna pay this bill? It's
Yeah.
$1,000 bill. Like I'm looking like, man, like coach, are you gonna get something? Like, nah, man, I'll just get some water, man. Like, don't worry, I'm not gonna order. We're going to dinner on the Skins, and we had 2 rookies. We had 2 rookies on the D line. Three. And the bill was pretty hefty. And I came late to downside show up, and I came late. And I walk in, and he's just like, one of them was just like this, and I was on the phone. But they just financial person, like, hey, man, am I going to be able to, I pay this? And I'm sitting looking. It's a hefty bill. I was like, I'll just get some water, man. And the glass of water was like $15.
For real?
I joke you not.
It was some nice place.
Yeah, it was good. It was glass of water was $15. I said, hey, I'm good. And the waiter was like, hey, brought home glass. And I'm good. I'm good. And he was looking at me like oh. The guy looks over like, I'll just get some water. He was like, all right, it's going to be $15. I looked at him, he thought, I said, man, I'm not going to do it to you. So, coach, you can get the water. I said, nah, man, I'm seeing the look on his face. Will $15 going to break him? Probably not. But $15 for some water?
Yeah, the principle.
Yeah, I was like, no, I'm not going to do it, man.
Yeah.
No, coach, get something. No, man, you're good. I can go right down the way and get me a burger.
Yeah.
Take someone to the kids, man. Don't worry about it. I'm just out to see you guys, and we're going to hang and chill and have a good time. You got to go through it, but right, you can get lost, and then you go out a few times. You're not eating, at the local steakhouse. You got to go with Chris every other night, or Maestro's or something. It's different.
Yeah, for another echelon.
Yeah,
of
man, you're not getting skirt steak no more, brother. Tomahawks.
So, do you think though, because there's a lot of this. I feel like I don't know if you don't have to answer if you don't want to. Like as far as I see a lot of it on like Twitter and stuff. People thinking that the games are rigged. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I can't speak on that. When I was coaching,
Because I know you, man. You could coach tomorrow, so I don't even want you to.
right, yeah.
I don't even want you to.
I can't speak on it.
Yeah.
I've seen momentum switch, and I just, we were playing Dallas one year, and shoot, man, like we were up 21-0. I remember we threw a pick, and that win intercepted it and ran it back. And it's like the whole stadium, just the old Cowboy stadium, the shift, the momentum just flipped, and I was watching from my eyes. It's not like it was calling plays to bust. Like they just stuff wasn't working. You know what I mean? Are there bad calls? Yeah, I see some stuff that makes me scratch my head. Like what in the world?
Yeah.
But then the perspective and based on the rule, being a coach now in high school and even sitting down in the college ranks and the pro ranks and the officials come in and they talk about rules. And there's certain dynamics to it. You're like, but this would be based on such and such and the way it's worded and what they're looking for. Like, no, that's, wow, by the rule, that's not a penalty or whatever. Or like who was it that had the forward pass? Like it was in a playoff game, maybe in a playoff run or towards the end of the season, there was a forward pass and they called it back. But the guy lined up, it might have been the Chiefs game.
The Chiefs, yeah.
Okay,
The Chiefs
the
Bills.
guy lined up both sides.
Yeah, I think so.
He was offside.
Yeah, but there was a couple that were like the bad calls though. Besides that one.
But they made a big issue about that. He lined up both sides.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he blew it.
He lined up both sides. So let it go because that's a great play. Like, he lined up both sides.
I get that.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's some other ones you like, oh wow, all right, move that change. I don't know about the rigging, and I can't speak on that.
Yeah, I think people take it way too far when they say it's like totally scripted. I'm not there with it. I mean, I just think that it's possible. Maybe I don't know that maybe some games get rigged. I don't know, man.
I can't. That don't hit my pay grade. And when I was there, I'm worried about getting to the quarterback.
Yeah.
And these moves are working, and how we're starting, and we're lining up right. And I didn't have enough. There wasn't enough on my plate for. I didn't have access to that info, and I don't think any of us did. So I can't. There's stuff you scratch your head like, what in the world is going on?
Like Pete Carroll not giving it to Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, what do you see? What thing you got the analytics, and you got somebody in his ear with analytics say this and say that, and it's like, wow, like really? But I'm not in the room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like armchair quarterbacking. As a coach, you learn to. Man, when you know the other side of it, man, and dudes' jobs are on the line, and you see guys getting axed in '86 on some stuff, and you know them. They're not nobody's working to get fired.
Yeah, no.
It hits different when they're your buddies. Like you know them and they're good coaches, they're good men, or they know their stuff, and you see them get fired, and you read it. You look on the ticker tape, and you're like, oh man, he got it. Oh shoot. And you know what that life is like, man.
High stakes, man.
Man, yeah, we got let go of the Skins. It was 2 days after Christmas. My whole family's, kids playing with toys. We're all sitting around TV, watching TV, and then.
That's why I asked if you would play or coach in the league again, because it's like, but I guess your family, your nest is empty now.
Yeah, but we're all there, and there's two types of coaches: ones that haven't been and ones that will be. And so. And that day I happened to be the one that will be, I was one that hadn't been up until that day. And remember phone rings and it's Washington Post, and the guy's like, is it true? I'm like, what true? Like, man, what you calling me? Like, what are we doing? He's like, is it true? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, the coach resigned. I'm like, huh? And then I turn on ESPN, you see it, so it says resign, Coach Pereira resigned. I'm like, oh, and so we're out of here. And so we're all in front of the TV. We're all sitting there, like we're all
learning like everybody else.
Yeah, but mom, dad, sisters, kids, wife at the time, we're all sitting there watching. All of a sudden ESPN goes and you see it, and we all know what that means. I'm like, hey man, I'm gonna call you back. He's like, do you know? I'm like, man, let me call you back. Let me make some calls and find out, if this went down. And sure enough, it had. And
yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a cold piece, right? You're like, man, like, whoa, and then your whole dynamic changes. And then, it's like, now what? And a couple days after Christmas, my parents are there looking, ever been fired, were let go. You know what I mean? You weren't retained.
Yeah.
And so that's tough. And you gotta. And then when we had to switch at UTEP, I remember Coach, somebody's gonna come on the paper and such, and I had to come home and tell my kids, tell my family, we're gonna have to move. What do you mean? We're at UTEP, the friends. It's a hard life. People don't think about that stuff. When people are wishing a guy get fired, you're not thinking about his family. That kind of gets under my skin. I'm like, hey, let this cat go. He needs to be fired. Whoa, man. And it's somebody's family.
Yeah.
I get it. Fans, and they're going to do their thing. But on the other side,
I mean, if you're not a season ticket holder, or you're not buying a bunch of memorabilia, I guess that's like what you're not really a part of this.
Yeah, and you have ownership. It's your team. You're diehard, and I get it. But I remember being in school, and my son came home and was like, "Daddy, what does fired mean?" In second grade, I'm like, "What you talking about? What does fired mean? Like, where do you get this from?" Well, so and so's dad said to them they should fire so and so, and I said, "Well, tell so and so that if Coach so-and-so gets fired, that he can't come over and play anymore because we'll have to move."
Yeah.
That's how that works.
Yeah.
So let him know that like,
it's a cold world, man.
yeah, like you can't, he won't be able to come over anymore and stay the night. We can't go to Daddy's work and hang out, and you guys can't go play on the field and get Gatorade anymore because we'll have to move. And you don't understand what your kids subject to. Like hearing that, or Daddy, what
Changing schools.
yeah, Daddy, what does bum mean? What do you mean, what does bum mean? So and so said, so and so's dad said, Coach is a bum. Yeah, no, son. See, those conversations. Nobody talks about that. And so fire him. I'll get him out. He's never work again. Whoa, we don't. I don't say that about a doctor. I don't say that about gas station attendant, I don't say that about the waiter, say that about the banker. You should never work again. They should fire you. That's not me. I know that happens, but we don't have the same leeway, right? Your life is not on stage for the world to see and make an opinion about.
Yeah. No.
You can have a bad day in the office at work, or you'd be a horrible doctor. Come and see a patient for 5 minutes and charge them, charge insurance $10,000. You really do nothing. The doctors do. Your life's not on the national stage for everybody to comment about, right? So just a little understanding that these are people and there's their lives, and they've got invested. I don't coach to get fired. I don't coach to lose. I don't coach for plays not to work. Let me just see who I'm trying. Oh, that play's gonna hit. Siri, tell me what play to run. No, we don't do that.
Yeah, now you really building something. Every play is like a brick, brick in a wall.
Right. There's a scheme. There's a plan to it.
So what would you tell the younger you? I guess.
Slow down. Be patient. See everything. See it all. Like slow down. Be patient. See it all. Don't see it all. See it all. Listen a little bit more. And I think I did do all right, but there's some things I was kind of fast with, or hasty in my decisions, or thought I might have known, slow down a little bit.
Yeah, I like seeing it all, because at different points in my life, I definitely felt like if I don't look at it, then it don't exist or something. Huh?
Yeah, no.
It's the silliest thing.
Yeah. Sometimes you're just not aware, like you're just oblivious to it because you're not thinking about the other possibilities. Right now you're thinking about the immediate right now. Like I see that tripod, I need, I want that tripod. Nothing else matters. The tripod, how can I get the tripod? How can I get the tripod? Man, you just can't go take it. Well, how can I get it? You work, save you some money, go to the store, you buy the tripod. But I forget all that. Tripod, you gotta get it.
Yeah.
Hey, whoa. How did Taylor get that tripod? Probably bought it. So how do you buy it? We have to work, you have to get some money. Break it down. You don't see everything. And sometimes that's youth, and sometimes that's ego.
Yeah.
Attitude and ego.
You want to get it the right way. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not about getting stuff so much as getting it the right way.
Well, what do you value most? The things that you had to earn, like when you pay your own money for a pair of shoes, or were you gifted a pair of shoes?
Yeah, you definitely appreciate everything that you know you work for.
Right.
I mean,
If you get the new J's, the Dunks, are you gonna step? It's raining outside. Are you really gonna put them on?
yeah, no. If you have somebody just buying you a bunch,
There's some Dunks right here. I gotta relate it to the young folks. Here's some Dunks. I'm blessing you with. You see the stuff on there. Guys, I'm gonna gift you 10 grand. You didn't earn the 10 grand. I'm gifting. Guys go gift guys money, and I'm gifting them a Lamborghini. What? Are you gonna drive it like for real? Are you gonna drive like you like take care of it like? You understand the value of it, or are you gonna do donuts and burn out?
Yeah.
Somebody gifted you 10 grand. Are you gonna put that in the bank, or are you gonna go and splurge? But if it was your 10 grand, what would you do?
You gonna micromanage that thing.
Right. So that's
Yeah.
how I try to look at things and tell my kids. You don't need to go and you have access to stuff, but just because you have access to it doesn't mean you have to access it. I don't have to I can get it if I want it, but do I need it? I don't need to access it. I don't really need it. My car does well. I don't need to go and get the latest.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it really hits a point where the things just have to be functional. Things just have to make sense. Like in that way, it doesn't have to. It's not so much I just feel like when I was younger, I got caught up in the idea of things way more than like that reality.
Yeah. My oldest, he had a chance to when he first came out and he was with the Cardinals, he had looked at the Bronco, like the new Bronco that's out, right?
Yeah.
So he had ordered it, and it was on back order or whatever the case is. So it just came in probably like a month or some change ago. He said, "You want to ride with me and go look at it?" And I was like, "Yeah." And we were talking about it and his decision. He's like, "I don't really need it. It's here now. I already got this." And I'm listening to him, and I'm giving both sides of it. I'm like, "Listen, if it's a car you really want, then you buy it and you're out of the car market. If this is what you really want, then you buy it and you ain't never got to buy another one again.
Yeah.
You get it, you pay it off, it's yours. You got it, tilt, how you want it, you designed it, boom, 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 boom. If you can afford to do it, then you do it, and you don't have to. You don't get another one for a long time. Like maybe keep it forever. Keep it and then hand it down. Or if it doesn't make sense, you ain't gotta have it. Can you get it? You probably could. You can probably handle it and get it. But if it's gonna put you in a different bracket or raise your stress, is it worth it? And we were talking, so I'm giving him pros and cons of both. And we get down there, and I watch him negotiate, and I watch him do it, and we walk away, and he don't get it. And I was probably like, this joker right here, he understand. Like I'm listening to him, and he's, it's not worth it. I'm not doing it. Yeah, it's nice, but here, and he's working angles. Like I ordered it back then. What about the price would drop? His orders on back orders late. He's working.
Yeah.
And I'm listening to him, and then he walked away. He was like, "Yeah, I'm good. Like I don't need to do it. I got this car. It's a nice car. And he has a nice car. He's like, I got this. And it's for the same purpose." I'm like, "How about that?"
Good. He listened to himself too.
Yeah, he walked through it, and so.
I've done stuff like that too, where I say like I don't need it, and then still go do something dumb.
Yeah, he's focused, man. He's locked in. So it's just a matter of paying attention, and understanding, 10 toes down, man, on your principles. Like I am here, and I'm not budging on this. I'm not budging on that. This is what's valuable to me, so I'm not going to budge on it, and I'm not moving. I'm immovable on this, and these are core principles and core values, and it normally works out. I watched him move, and I'm like, wow, I'm proud of you, son. You're a man. Not because you're 26, but you're a man in your actions. Like you're a man in some stuff that can't be seen, by, can't be measured by a number. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's not. It's an intangible thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, man, thank you for your time, man.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Always a pleasure. Good seeing you, man. And I'm proud of you. proud of you, man. I'm proud of you.
Man.
I've been watching you a long time and seeing what the man you become and your maturity and just what you're doing and what you're giving. It's good to see you, man. Keep it up.
Yeah, man, I'm glad you picked up the phone, man.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. Anytime.
Man.